Boom.
I heard my goats.
This is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
You're going to see like every podcast opening up with that now. Such a phenomenal guest Phil Spencer is. Welcome to Real Deal Xbox Pegasus Nation. I'm kidding. Hey, shout out to the Thunder Horses and whatnot. But hey, we got to give a big shout out to everyone joining us live, guys. You already know we're having a blast. We're shooting aliens in the face in the footage. I don't even remember if I've used this. I think I've used different footage. But this should be me and Chris Cornell and the person that replaced Zalker as the best squad mate.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
It's a crispy faded
crispy
Cheeto
foot Cheeto.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Hey,
they're badass.
Add Semi Sweet Cheeto on Xbox. Hey, also, let us know your thoughts on today's show as we get through. We got a ton of great topics, actually. And, of course, we got to give a shout-out again to everyone checking this out. Hit the like button, share it out. We do appreciate it. You make the show go. You make it what it is. And we do owe it to you. So thank you. I'm recording this because finally I'm doing the podcast thingamabobber.
Let's go.
Where the Aaron Greenberg mode, where it's just audio only. Greenberg wanted it in audio only. So we're doing the iTunes thingy, and we've been working on this for a minute. We got skits and all kinds of crap. I'm taking a minute to talk about it because it's been a long time coming. But also we're going to look into like SiriusXM and all this stuff too, just because. So, once that all gets settled and confirmed and locked down, I'll kind of give more details on who's helping and who's doing what. But again, thanks again for doing what you do, guys. Introductions. Bonzarelli, how you been?
I've been great, man. It's been a long time since I've been here, since last Tuesday. It's been too long. People want RDX, so we're here to give it to them. So let's do it.
Pong Soul, carrot emojis. Shout out to Pong and Fun Speculation Mav in the chat, and Lisa Papa, moderator, of course. We've also got Alex. Shout out to you, buddy, as well as Tryhard Fan, and Javier. Thank you guys for watching. Hey, Zalker, how you been?
Really good. My mic was muted for some reason, and
good.
I caught it right there. It was like good on time. Doing good, man. Glad to be here, everybody. We have a lot of good topics. Some not involving horses that poop rainbows. So it's gonna be great.
We've also got D-Batch, brother. How you been, man?
I'm good, man. Glad to finally be able to hear you guys. Audio difficulties in the start. Man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Today is going to be a really exciting show. A lot of stuff went down last week since we were last on RDX, so let's go.
Yeah. God, this rocket launcher's OP, huh, Zucker? Hey, we've also got TextCloud Tim Dog. How you been, man?
Yeah. Pegasus Nation. I'm totally psyched. Getting into Pegasus Nation, man.
Yeah.
Loving it. Ready to talk some Xbox, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of fun stuff. And I'm going to bring the heat to the show.
Baxes. I've also got some patron shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to these guys. My patron shout-out tier. Patrons are all up in the tier. I'm updating this here in the next couple of weeks. So, Pork Boy Gaming, Dave, Incubus, Ricky Forlon, Darge Unite, Faultline Z, Not Silik. We've also got Gods, Geeks, Bad Boy Live, Achievement, Nano Polymath, Zoraden, Costanza, Scott Trooper 74, KY Bob, Goose 8402, Straw Khalifa, Assassin Lupa, Spawn Object, Gab Quiz, Teo John Blue. I can say a lot of these, really. We've also got Beck Boss, Steve Eater X, Real Deal Neil, Suicide King, Tissa Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cabillo, All Might, not All Night, Dirk CMF, and Alfonso Hogan. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. And we've also got to talk about Deathloop a little bit because it's an Xbox game and Phil Spencer's supplying high-quality exclusives to PlayStation for now. It's a timed exclusive, and much to my surprise, which it shouldn't have been, Arcane's always reviewed pretty well. The game this is probably their highest reviewed game ever, maybe? Is that the case? I mean, IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. GameSpot gave it a 10 out of 10. VG 24/7, 10 out of 10. The Sixth Axis gave it a 10 out of 10. VGC, I wrote 15 out of 5. So, apparently they wrote it high as fuck. Game Informer gave it a 9 out of 10. And then Destructoid gave it a 9 out of 10. So, 9 out of 19.
It's rated pretty high. Dishonored 1 for Metacritic on PC, where it has most of the votes, I believe, PC. Has a 91. And then a 91%, and then Deathloop right now has an 88. So but then when you look at the console, like when you go down the list at like 87, it's like weird because I guess there's technical difficulty. I don't know. But yeah, it's getting really good reviews. There are some like problems here and there on the PlayStation 5 console, and then the ray tracing on the PC is like insane. Like you need a 3080 and above. But overall, people have said that it's just a really well put together game, and like the gameplay is pretty good, and it does remind them of Dishonored. I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm going to be playing it on PC because I don't want to play it on Sony's thing because I just don't care. But yeah, I'm going to be playing that on PC through Steam, man. That game looks insane. It looks fun. It looks different. Very different. Like it's almost like it has an identity crisis. Like it doesn't know what it wants to be, but it just is its own thing.
Right before.
Good.
Right before we came on the show, I was actually playing the game on PC, and I gotta say it was phenomenal, man. It was smooth as butter. A lot of different options you got there, and the frame rate was consistent. And I gotta be honest, it really surprised me because I wasn't really too into this game before, and then when I saw all the reviews, 88 Metacritic, IGN 10, a lot of people giving it 10, saying it's a masterpiece. I said, okay, I gotta try this game out. And honestly, to tell you, just the handling of the game, because I like first-person shooters, but I just wasn't into the concept of the game. But this is a game you definitely got to play. The banter.
What if you don't like dying and doing the same shit over and over? Like I'm one of those people. D-Bash, convince me.
It's not like that because you progress to a certain part, to a certain area, and you have like these shards that can bring you back twice. So if you can progress to the next area and then you fucking die there, or the next day, whatever, and then you die there, it's fine because you'll start off from that point, not the beginning of the game, right?
Okay.
So yeah.
So you're saying it's better than Aliens Delta Farts Elite?
It's fun, man. I'll tell you the handling, it's smooth. The gunplay is good. The gadgets are good. It's a fun game. I don't know what to say. I'm really enjoying it, and the story sucked me in, man. The story definitely sucked me in.
Goats confirmed. Let me give a shout out to Clouds 1900. Shout out to you for throwing $1 on the super chat. Also, Gamer by Choice, $5 super chat says, I love hearing a podcast where Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer blesses us with his presence. Yes, hail to the Book of X. You got candles and shit set up over there.
Well, the funny thing is that
Shout out to you, brother.
this is pretty cool for Xbox, right? Like Pete Hines is obviously promoting it, so is Phil. Everybody's talking about it because this is an Xbox studio. Everything from now on that these people make is going to be Xbox exclusive.
And they had a Twitter space today, Zucker. They had a little Twitter space going on.
I listened to
a little Pete Hines Twitter space where they was talking about stuff.
I didn't see that. I was working. Yeah, but I don't know. I think it does look good for Sony because they obviously bought this and had it and probably bought it like 3 years ago, whatever, when it was in development. And, now it's like, cool, they got a pretty good game. PC gamers get a pretty good game. In like a year, Xbox gamers will get it also. Then everything from now on made by these people is going to be Xbox. So I think everybody kind of wins. It's a unique situation where right now, everybody, I think, gets a W. So, yeah.
Fonz, what do you think about... hey, shout out to Clouds again for becoming a channel, by the way. But Fonz, what do you think about Phil Spencer tweeting this out and be like, hey, bitches, congrats on Deathloop. This thing's doing real good. Yeah, it's on PlayStation. Should he have said, like, hey, looking forward to... It's probably against the contract, but in an ideal world, should he have said, well, glad we could drop this and finish out our deal with Sony, fuck off, because in a year it's coming to Xbox?
No, he did the right thing. Here's the thing, though. This is the first Xbox game that is like being plastered, in recent years anyway, as being a masterpiece by so many, and it's on PlayStation only. That is the problem here. All right, that sucks. The fact that they're saying that this is so great, a lot of outlets anyway, because it's sort of polarizing too. Because there's a lot of outlets that don't really like the game too much, and they're saying, it's not for everyone, and I have a feeling like I'm probably one of those guys that it's not for, because watching the gameplay, I'm not too hip on it, man. Like, I'm not a big fan of Dishonored.
Why you got to be toxic for it?
I'm not being toxic.
Hey, what game was that, Fonz, recently that released on PlayStation a year later? Was it The Medium and it got 5 more points for some reason?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
You know what? A lot of people were bringing that up yesterday. I saw a whole bunch of the same exact game. Like Psychonauts was an example. It scored higher on the PlayStation than it did on the Xbox platform. Like, how is that even happening? It's the same game.
Well, if it's running worse or whatever, you
But
could
it's
see
not.
the marking. Yeah, I know,
It's
but
not.
it,
It
it's
depends
just
on the outlet.
reviewers. It's the reviewers.
Yeah, it's
Honestly, I would say it depends on the person who's playing it.
They
why
need to
they're playing
find
it.
those
Like,
reviewers and make sure they're
mean,
reviewing the Xbox
well,
one
I'm
next
just saying,
time.
like when you play it, like let's be honest, like right, like so the platforms we like to play on are, some of us like playing Xbox, PC. Like I like playing PC and Xbox. If I'm playing on those two platforms, I just enjoy my game. I enjoy achievements. I enjoy playing it on my PC or my Xbox. If I play it on PlayStation, yeah, it's cool. I love God of War, but again, if I was able to play that on PC or something else, then it's like I think I would enjoy it a little bit more because I just like those platforms better. I like the ecosystem better, right? That's just I think that's what it is. I think a lot of people, like one of the people from IGN has even said like a lot of these Bethesda games, I love them and I played them first on PlayStation. Now I'm not going to be able to, and it kind of sucks. Like they've said that. They've openly said that.
Openly.
And it's like, yeah. So
Shout out to Astray real quick with that shiny 6-month plus badge for the members. But he says clipped fonts, and he said it. It's just perfect. Astray, he's starting a YouTube channel. Check out Astray. Tim Dog, what are your thoughts on this Deathloop thing? What's going on here?
First of all, to address the Metacritic stuff, I listen. I think people read into that too much. Like PlayStation's gonna have their own outlets, like say PlayStation Lifestyle, and a game like
Trash.
Medium or Psychonauts. They're gonna review it on their system, and they're generally high. So I think Open Critic is the best way to look at that because it combines everything. But like we said, it's just reviewers. I don't think that there's any kind of bias personally involved with that. As far as the game. Listen, for the longest time, Xbox has gotten a lot of grief for releasing games that were 69 Metacritic, 71 Metacritic, low scoring games. And for the last 3 games or 4 games, they've really, they've had 91 Metacritic on Flight Sim, even though it's global. But Psychonauts was 88. This is 88. There's a bunch of games coming forward. I mean, at this point, the studios that Xbox have, or the stable of studios, are producing high-rated games, and that's that. And going forward, it's going to look like it's going to be the case. So it's a very good thing for Xbox, and I don't have any problems with Xbox fans being happy about it. I mean, I think it's a good thing. I saw like Sony guys getting upset that Xbox guys were happy and cheering this on. But the fact of the matter is that you're introducing a new IP that looks successful into an ecosystem, even though you have to wait a year, that's going to be permanently on Xbox moving forward. So if there is a Deathloop 2, guess what? It's not going to be on PlayStation 5. It's going to be in one place or 2 places, PC and Xbox, and it's going to be a part of Xbox Studios. So it was a big deal. Listen, I didn't think it was going to score. I don't think anybody thought it was going to score that high. I thought it would be an 80s type deal. I mean, just judging from what I'm watching and seeing, I didn't think it wasn't going to grab a lot of people. But obviously, there's something to this game. It's critically acclaimed by pretty, big sites like IGN and GameStop. I can't and GameSpot. I can't believe that they both gave them a 10. That's like really, really
it's
impressive.
Next generation, Tim Dog.
So, yeah, so it just overall, I just think it's a big win for everyone. And moving forward, man, Xbox just they got some deal. They got Bethesda probably at the worst possible time Bethesda was going. I mean, a lot of people were talking about Bethesda and saying that, they had a couple of down things like Fallout 76, but man, they got this studio now, and this studio's always a great studio, pushing out, an 88 Metacritic, and I think people who are going into Redfall and complaining about that and this and that, the jury's still out, but I would have confidence that game's going to score well too.
So was there a Redfall leak recently? Was that proven accurate in any way?
I can get into that. I can get into that.
Zaki, did you make a video on this?
I totally did, because that thing got me hyped. I've been hyped since I saw that game.
So what came out to be accurate and what came out to be what you would say is like,
people don't. Well, the thing is that like one of the things that people don't understand is that game's been in development for 5 years. That came out months ago. That they've been making Redfall for about 5 years. And so, like, they made it right when Prey was done. I think in 2017, they said.
Yep.
So it's just been something like that. So it's been in this just development cycle, and now it's like way bigger than people thought. There's screenshots of guns with.
I saw the trailer at Sony's event. It's called Blood Hunt, right? It's like the Dollar Tree version of.
Yeah, just from what it's saying, like people are going back. People are saying like, oh no, it's like a Left 4 Dead or it's like a Back 4 Blood. But then other people are like, no, it's like an open world. It's like a Borderlands open world game with a lot of like guns and different types of guns, different boss fights, and it's 6 classes or 6 characters, open world, and you just go with people. And it's like when you hear that, like, oh damn, like Borderlands comparison, it's like whoa, like that's pretty big. So obviously we got to wait and see leaks, but that is what. But a lot of people, Windows Central, a lot of it, like people were reporting on this. So for them to see these leaks and then report on it and actually say like, yeah, well, this is what we've heard. It's like okay, so that's pretty big. Like for Bethesda to do that, and I think Tim, you kind of hit on the head. They did get them when. Like Wolfenstein, that Youngblood co-op came out, Fallout 76 came out.
I need the new Wolfenstein, Zalker. I need it.
Dude, same here.
God.
Same here. I want Wolfenstein 3 so bad. But like all those games were not really well found. Like a lot of people gave them a lot of hell for it. And they took a hit. But then the last year and a half, like Doom Eternal, Game of the Year, Doom Eternal.
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds. No, wait, what? That's Obsidian.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. No. But anyways, Doom Eternal and Doom Eternal's DLC has been very well regarded, and now Deathloop again, right on top. It's another 88 meta. Almost. That's massive. It's massive, and I think people don't realize that. The reason why, like, I don't blame I'm annoyed with the timed exclusive, but the reason why people are calling this money hatting is because this is an Xbox studio making this game, and Sony just bought the rights, a few years ago. So now it's just like ultra money hat, right? It's like a really bad look, but at the same time, to me, I just think like, whoa, this is another Xbox studio doing really well, and if Ghostwire does well, also
looks good.
It looks good on Xbox. That's just what it is.
Yeah. Did you guys enjoy Evil Within 2 or the first one? I beat the first one.
I've only played the first one. I didn't play the second one.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. 60 FPS on the second one.
Literally, that game was so scary. I couldn't deal with it.
You couldn't deal with the bitch with the long ass hair and 6 arms.
That guy with the chainsaw and just the sounds, and I just was shitting my pants the whole game. I was like, I can't deal with it. Good game though, but like literally really scary. But yeah, no, Zorka's 100% right. And listen, Ghostwire Tokyo. That really interests me. I mean, I have to say that looks totally demented and really deep. So I think they're gonna have another hit on their hands with that. So this is there was so long of a time where people said Xbox has no new IPs and they got nothing. They got no AAA new IPs. And,
organic.
Well, Tim, now they're now they're saying things to you like, because I see it out there. They're like, well, Xbox has nothing to do with these games. These were already in production. Like,
yeah, I saw that.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
like,
ridiculous.
Look, just because Xbox bought them recently and these games were already in production, doesn't mean they're not an Xbox game, people. Sorry to break it to you.
They said the same thing about
well, Spider-Man Miles Morales isn't a PlayStation game.
Yeah. True.
Well, didn't they say the same thing about like Psychonauts? And it's like, man, they bought them in like before during 2019. They've been in development for 2 years with Xbox running them.
And they actually said they made Psychonauts bigger. They added more bosses.
Yeah, they helped.
And they made the game better than it ever could have been because of Xbox. So, yeah, I feel like you just look stuff up pretty easily like that.
Well, it's not even just look stuff up. It's understanding that, like, if you look at Xbox right now, like, if let's say Deathloop wasn't like money hatted or whatever, Sony didn't get the rights to it. Can you imagine like Psychonauts last month, Deathloop this month, Age of Empires next month, Forza in November, Halo in December? It's like, holy shit!
You're talking some Spider-Man alternate reality type shit, though, Zaki.
Well, I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's right. He's 100% right, and not to cut you off, Soccer. I'll let you go.
No, go ahead.
But one of the things too is that they could easily make exclusive content in a year from now and say, here you go, Xbox. Enjoy your exclusive content. Thank you for waiting. Here's your day one Game Pass. So, if it did hit though, like Zorka said, we'd be going crazy because it's just the game's just hitting and just not stopping. I mean, Game Pass has been crazy, but that would have just been a feather in the cap where people are just mind blown.
Yeah. Yep, that's facts. D-Batch, you said you've been playing the game. Glad you're enjoying it. I know a few other people are playing the game. I just got an email from Microsoft today about Age of Empires. So I'll be playing that soon. That is, I really want that game to come to console, really, because it is doable. Supreme Commander 2 on console is a perfect example of why this is possible. They have a very complicated game in terms of what you can do, all the crap you can upgrade, you know? I mean, Tim, are you still hearing that could happen, that game could come to console, or what?
Listen, I had asked that, and I had asked that to some people that would know, and the answer I was given is that anything, and it was told, at the time, well, obviously not to blabber it on Twitter, but I'll say it here: anything that they have with game studios
needs to be on Xbox.
It's going to be on both. So they want to have a streamlined thing. So the plan is for it to follow, just like Gears Tactics. And just like Flight Simulator, that it will be on console. So I think that the answer that you're looking for is, I'd say 100% yes. It's definitely coming.
Yeah, it needs to, and that'd be nice. You can carry over your save, cross save, and all that stuff. I did that with Gears Tactics. I didn't beat it. I didn't ask for the review code. I didn't have to put out a review for it, but I didn't end up beating it for the review. And then I picked it up on the Series X as part of my Series X early review. And, the save just carried right over. It looked phenomenal. It ran at 60 FPS. I mean, the game was just nice, man. I like playing these things on console, right? So, yeah, or else my Xbox would have 32 threads, right? So I'm a console guy. I like to play these things there. And Deathloop's definitely one where I'm going to be playing that on Xbox when it does hit. What were you saying about Phoenix Point?
Phoenix Point just came to console and Game Pass. It was on PC only, and then they finally got the port going. So the console is getting Phoenix Point on Game Pass also. They announced it, I think, today.
Yeah, they did. And that's awesome. Something Joe from Song of Iron was saying that, hey, Microsoft approached me for a deal with them, and through ID at Xbox, we're bringing Song of Iron to Xbox and PC, and part of that is their flexibility and development compatibility between PC and Xbox, right? So that's really cool that avenue's open. Now we all know Deathloop is a high 80 right now. Chat, let us know what you think about Deathloop so far. If you've seen it, if you've heard people playing it, if you have watched any gameplay walkthroughs or any stuff like that. And of course, hit the like button if you haven't, guys. We have 1,100 people already sitting here watching the show. We do appreciate it. Shout out to Titan Drago, Greg E3 Egg. We've also got Benjamin. We got Djun. Shout out to you, brother. Crawford. Veiled Pyromancer, you fraud, Spider-Man, and of course, murder. I don't know how to pronounce that. So shout out to you. I'll get to some of these super chats here in a minute, but I just want to say thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you haven't. Say what, Zaki?
Did you guys like Dishonored 1 and 2?
Not really.
No,
not really.
I'm not into Dishonored for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Is it like the sneaking around? Because I started playing that because I never played them when they first came out, and then I started playing it, and it's like really cool. Like the world's expansive, it's huge, and you have like very different ways to tackle situations, and the abilities were kind of fun. So that's why it seems more. Deathloop seems more like you could shoot a lot more and have a good time. So that's why I'm a little intrigued with it. Like more than Dishonored.
I didn't like the artwork, the art style of Dishonored, so I just wasn't interested in it. And that was kind of the same reason I wasn't really interested in Deathloop. But I gotta say, like playing the game itself, the textures are like it's clean. It's a very clean, crisp looking game. It looks a lot better than I thought it would look, man. If you're on the fence on this game, just for it being different alone, I don't want to give away too many things. I think it's worth the price of admission.
Yeah, especially if it's in Game Pass next year. Huh?
I hope so.
Yeah,
you never know. Maybe with one of those contracts, they're like, no, you can't do it. Sony told them no. You never know, man.
Yeah, Phil Spencer were flying with an Iron Man suit and fucking, no, that's weird. All right, so let's go ahead and move forward, right? Deathloop. It's reviewing well, Fonz. And
yeah, it is.
I think we can talk about the Sony showcase. You see the notes. What did I forget?
In the notes, what did you forget?
Yeah, what did you forget?
God of War, Spider-Man 2,
God of War.
Wolverine, the Badger. We've also got...
You forgot Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Forgot Star Wars KOTOR being exclusive
Coat
after
hanger.
after it was an Xbox exclusive.
So it's a timed exclusive, correct?
Fail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said time exclusive. They don't know that.
What are
some
they
people
saying? 2 years?
They're
Speculation.
saying a year to 2 years.
It's a year.
Some people are. Yeah, it's probably.
And by then, I won't give a fuck because I have 1,000 games to play.
Oh no, I will give a damn. About
Yeah, what, Fonz?
KOTOR.
You should be celebrating
I'm
in the
gonna play it.
streets. This gives you a reason to boot up a PS5. It's covered in dust.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it's covered in dust. No, I just played the Iki Island DLC for Ghost
it.
not too long ago. So, yeah, so I'm excited for KOTOR, man. Played it back in the day, of course, on Xbox, and love the game. And of course, the only thing that really bothers me at this point, not really bothers me, but Team Aspire, the Aspire developers that usually create remasters, they're heading this, project. And the thing is like, I don't know if they've done anything outside of remasters. And
Isn't
I'm
this
hoping,
like a remaster?
No, it's a remake. So it's
That's
a
a
complete
very,
remake.
very good remaster, whatever, right?
Like
Is RoboJaw? Here's what I want to know:
hoping-
is RoboJaw still in the game? The guy on the cover of the game, the Sith guy, is RoboJaw still in the game?
Revan? Yeah. He's still in the
RoboJaw
game.
is still there. That's
Yeah,
all that matters.
yeah, yeah.
RoboCosta brothers
So
there.
that's
We're
all
good.
I care. All I care about is they take the source material and just leave it alone. Just make everything look nice and pretty and feel great and move it up to this, century. Just make it feel great. But yeah, just leave the source material alone. Leave the dialogue and everything the way it was. Like it was great the way it was. Does
Are you
not
sure about
need to
that?
be changed and enhanced.
Are you sure the dialogue should stay where it's at?
They're gonna definitely change the
They're
dialogue.
they're listening to it. They're like, "This is trash. We have to upgrade this."
I think they're good. I think they're gonna stay close to the original, but I think it's just gonna be amplified. So they're gonna the plot lines might be the same, but the wording will be different. The way you get there will be a little bit different. but
Maybe
it'll
a little
stay to the
bit.
core.
Yeah,
I think it'll be kind of like the
but
Dead Space
don't
stuff.
change it up. Don't change it up.
I
That's my
think they'll
thing.
need to. I think the biggest thing I'm going to look at is if the combat's going to be different. I've talked about this before. Or
Yeah,
I think I was
yeah.
talking about Colt. They need to maybe change because the combat is turn based in the
Yes,
original. So it's turn based. It's kind of like you just kind of go and you go, and then I think they need to maybe change it like the way Final Fantasy did. Asa brought that up when we were
Yeah,
talking
they will.
also. Like maybe they change it to where Final Fantasy made it real time. But again, this like Fawn said, this developer has not done anything massive. So this is by far their biggest game. And KOTOR, I mean, I don't know. I know Fonz, you've played it. I've played it. I've beaten it twice. Like I love KOTOR. So this needs to be something done. Like they need to really knock this out of the park.
What if they get
And
like Jedi Fallen Order combat or like Ghost of Tsushima type combat?
Well, I don't know if you can do that because
that'd
you
be
have,
so sick,
you have,
man.
I want combat. Like if anything, like the closest thing I could think of is Dragon Age Inquisition because you
where
have
you
have
beat someone
people
with
you.
30 times with a fucking metal
No,
sword
no,
and
no,
they
what I'm
finally
saying
die.
is
That's a
like-
little bit too much.
You see,
No.
that's the type
What
of
I'm
stuff
saying
that
is-
hurts that type of game, man. Like put the action like what Dealer was saying.
Super
like,
facts, D badge.
like Ghost of Tsushima, like give us something more streamlined
Visceral.
for sure. If you're gonna bring it back,
Hacking off
I think you
limbs.
got to do that. I think if it's hitting a guy 40 times, man,
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna have the same impact again.
And then the
Sorry.
Jedi should spit on their corpse and say, "Bitch."
Well, I think the approach that Zocker mentioned, like the Final Fantasy VII, would work
Yeah.
out fine. Dreadpool. No, I'm not asking for a remaster. I just don't want them to touch the story. That's it. Pongsol got it right. Just leave the story alone. Yes, some dialogue can be.
Why would
changed
they
here and
change
there,
the
but
story,
The story
though?
needs to be. Yeah, I don't know. The Final Fantasy remake has changed a bit. So,
Well, is the
I
hot
mean,
tub scene still in there? Because I know that's all you care about.
No, it wasn't. Unfortunately.
Oh my God! See, that's what he's talking about. I knew it.
See, yeah.
KOTOR's
see,
story is
yeah.
actually really, it's really,
Yeah.
It's really good.
People like the story.
the villain and everything is like really cool. The way you get your lightsaber is really cool. Like there's a lot of cool shit in that game that it's for me it's regarded as one of the greatest Star Wars games ever made. And that is a tall order. They have a very it might be niche, I don't know, but there's a lot of people that adore that game. So they
Zocker,
better
read the
do
chat.
this right.
Pongsol said that Aspire has a lot of the original BioWare members. Didn't know that.
Did they help make Anthem?
Didn't know that. So that's
You're such a
good.
fraud.
That's good.
They better not make
No, that is
Anthem.
good. That is good. If they have a lot of the people there, then maybe that's why they gave it to them.
Well, how
Maybe
many
because
people are
they-
there? How many people are there? Because
At
it's a big
Aspire?
ass game. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it's a big ass game. I mean, I remember that game. Look, we've all rented stuff back in the day, and we're like, well, I'll just take it back a week later. That game I kept for like a month past due. And I was like, I didn't support the developers at all here. No, I was like fucking 10 or something. I don't know. So, I mean, I rented that game, and I just did not want to take that thing back. And I paid the late fee. I didn't give a shit. Why I didn't buy it? Because 10. I don't fucking know. I just remember playing it, not wanting to give it up. It was amazing. RoboJaw was in there, right? And he had some mad bars. But other than that, what side is KOTOR, right? Let me do a few shout outs here in the super chat. We can catch up a little bit. And then, chat, let us know what you took away from the PlayStation event. And really, if you checked out my last video, you know that I didn't think the event was bad at all. I thought it had a lot of pretty decent stuff there. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't better than the Xbox event, not even close in my opinion, but it doesn't mean it was bad. Dark CMF, by the way, he does say, I hope that PlayStation players are laughing that there is an Xbox Game Studios game on PlayStation. I still love that I can play MLB The Show and Game Pass. Yeah, this day and date. He says Xbox printing the money. Yeah, that's true. Game Bread, by the way, shout out to you, brother. He does say, missed the last 3 live shows. I can't believe that, but it was because of work, so it's okay. He says, but I'm finally catching up. Live. Great work. Gentlemen, of course, one of his favorite podcasts. Keep the energy. Keep it going. Keep up with good work. Thank you so much, sir. Then we've also got Uriel. Shout out to you. He says, Nintendo out here talking. You just reminded me of the Pegasus Nation again. Talking about the great, how great the GameCube is, and refusing to put them games online. Why would they not release classic GameCube games on the online network? Zalker, you seem weird. You probably played GameCube.
No. I have no idea why.
You remember Smash Bros. When it hit GameCube? Say what you will about Nintendo or GameCube, but man, when those games hit, like you always knew, like when Chris Hansen was around. I'm just kidding. No,
You're
like
so
those
weird.
games. Those
so
games
weird.
were always fun though. Like when you played Smash Bros. On the GameCube, right? I think that version had Solid Snake in it, right?
The biggest Smash Brothers I played the most was the N64 one, the first one.
Well, yeah, that's because that was the best
endlessly,
one. Yeah,
endlessly. Like that's the one I.
But then I got past 8
lines.
and 9, and I was like, all right, time for some other shit.
Yeah.
There's a reason you don't hear the word Nintendo in here very often, but it is weird, Uriel. And that's a good point. Yep. Why they're not bringing those to the online store? Maybe they're saving it for the Switch 2. Z Black Rider, by the way, he says just for not talking
about superheroes.
Okay.
Yeah, just for not talking about superheroes. Here's some money.
Just for not talking effing superheroes. Z Black Rider, we're talking about superheroes, sir. And I have a feeling, with all due respect, sir, that if Microsoft had an exclusive Badger superhero game, you would be super stoked about that.
Squirrel Girl. Yep. You'd be happy for
Squirrel
that.
Girl. Caw. And then I'll come back to these other two here in a bit. Shout out to Spooky Sprocket and Monkey Crow, who you probably stole that name off your last show, Fonz. So, yeah, I mean, God of War looked amazing. It doesn't have Cory Barlog. That is a concern, only because Cory Barlog extensively talked about in the documentary how he had to fight everybody there almost to get his damn idea and his vision of God of War to come to light. Like, he had to fight almost everyone in that studio to just do what he saw should happen. And as a creative director, that's kind of interesting. So now that he's gone, they know that that's the right path. But how many of those guys were fighting against him? I don't know.
A lot. It was everybody. Like, didn't Atreus get taken out of the game, like he said, 3 or 4 times, and then the one cut like got taken out and then put back in? Like, he fought for a lot of the stuff that he wanted. And it's kind of weird that everything before this show, when they talked about God of War, he kind of was the one responding to stuff. So it seemed like he was a part of the game. Mm-hmm. And then the show happens with, you know, Herman after, and they're like, yeah, I'm not on it. It's this guy. And you're like, wait, what happened?
This is my friend Frank.
He's just like, nah, he's like, I'm working on something else. And I needed, like, he basically said, like, God of War, the first one, mentally destroyed him. Like, he was exhausted.
Well, yeah, the sword fight everybody.
Yeah, and he's like, I needed to work on something else. So the game looks awesome. I can't wait for God of War. Obviously, like, it's the 2018 one is one of my favorite games of all time. and I love it. But again, the one thing that people were saying is like, oh, it looks kind of the same, and it's like, of course it does. They're using some of the same assets they created. Like, it's what everybody does. It's what every developer does. But again, I don't care. It looks great. I hope it's epic. I hope it's massive 30, 40 hour game or 100 hours in Crackdown, whatever it is. I can't wait.
Hey, what was the controversy behind the DLC? They said that the DLC was too ambitious, and that's why they didn't have any.
Corey said that they were planning some DLC for the game. It became too ambitious, so they scrapped it. But I'm of the mind to think that it just got too big, and they wrote it out to be this game. It's.
So you're saying this game is DLC, Fonz?
No, not at all. That's not what I'm saying. This is a bigger game. They're saying this game is bigger than the original, so it's not DLC.
No, even if it was identical, it's not DLC, it's a sequel. So yeah. If this game's DLC, then every single Souls game is just one game.
That's just the reason why I think this is why it all looks the same. People, this is just a continuation of the last story. So this is why it looks pretty much identical.
And it looks beautiful. Like if you play God of War, you're not complaining.
That's what I said on my show too, is like, I'm okay with more of the same because I love the original. It was amazing.
And they're taking good time on it. Like they're taking 4 years?
Yep. The only thing I wasn't really impressed with was the trailer itself. And it had nothing to do with the graphics or the way it looked. It just had to do with the stuff they showed within the trailer. It just wasn't hype enough. It just didn't get me.
You said you needed to be hyped a little more.
I think this is a little bit of I think it's a little bit of a Sony putting their foot in their mouth.
Oh,
I think that I'm just being honest. Like when they say we believe in generations, people are like, can you imagine what God of War is going to look if it's only concentrated on PS5? And it wasn't. They've been playing very loose with certain things they've been saying. So now that this is a PS4 stuff, they can't change the game design. It's going to be the same thing. Like they have to make it so it works on the PS4. So they can't change. Like what we said, the only thing that gets held back is core game design. Yeah, and that's what it is. The core game design is going to be God of War. That's what it's going to be.
I remember everyone was fighting me, fighting this show, fighting anybody who actually knew what they were talking about the game design, the graphics being held back, and all this shit. And man, you don't hear about it much anymore, D-Batch.
No, and let's be honest, it's gonna look better on the PlayStation 5. You're gonna get a higher frame rate. You're gonna get higher resolution, better textures, better effects. So
have you seen God of War on the PS5? It's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. So it's gonna look better on the PS5. So for me, I think this is okay, and it's to be expected. It's like it's the beginning of the gen. You're gonna have cross-gen games, and Tim's right. Sony coming out, Miyazaki coming out and being loose, saying, "Oh yeah, we believe in generations and all that stuff." And I think what they were trying to do was recreate what happened with Microsoft at the Xbox One event when they said this is how we share games. And I think it's really coming to bite them in the ass now, because they were hypocrites, because a lot of their stuff is cross-gen. GT, Gran Turismo is cross-gen. Horizon Zero Dawn, cross-gen.
And they were showing those games while they were talking about during the showcase. Developers are saying the PS5 allows us to have more bug snacks on screen. And they have all the different PS4 games. They're also on the PS5. It's, hey, if you want better performance, the same reason you get a 3080, Series X, there's no exclusive games for a fucking 3090, but little Zaki ran out and got one.
I totally did.
Zocker, do you have to pay an extra $10 for those graphics on the 3090?
No, I won't pay $70 for KOTOR.
Oh, shit.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. And
go ahead. No, go ahead. No, I just wanted to say my comments on the show overall. I think our show last week we pretty much nailed it. We pretty much said what was going to be there. We said there was going to be a surprise. There was, and we said that I do think that we expected God of War to show off a little bit better. My take on the whole God of War situation is a lot what Zorker said. I think that they set themselves up, and in that case, they kind of should have handled it a little differently. They probably, in my opinion, should have made this next God of War, or if they could have made Ragnarok DLC, somehow do that, and then make the next God of War, that title that God of War originally was, the one that basically came onto the scene, was a showstopper, was the best looking game, and you know that when it came out, like everyone was, the reaction with the first God of War was like everyone was like insane about it. Like this one, there's a lot of people showing, that you reuse the same assets. That stuff is stupid, but it does show that it is obviously the same game. So I do kind of feel like they're handling the situation, and the stuff that they said put them behind the 8 ball with this game. And I do think it's going to be great. I just think that they should have kind of handled it, somehow get Corey, say that they're going to do the next one and get Corey involved. And,
that would get people excited.
Well, I think it was already done, right? Like, so like the 2016, like you said, it blew people away because it was like, holy shit, this is God of War. And then it's like a completely different game than what God of War we know from 1 through 3, even to Chains of Olympus on the PSP. I've played all of those. Like, I love God of War. It's my one of my favorite franchises of all time. But when that happened in 2016, I was like, holy cow, like what's happening? Like that shock factor is gone. Like people seen it, we've played it. It's like, what are you going to give us now? So I hope there's like, I'm almost positive there's going to be massive epic boss fights and stuff like that.
Push Square even did an article about it, and it is what it is. When they showed the trailer, it kind of looked like a DLC. Like that's the way it looked like, because it's just a continuation of the story we've already played. So it just looked like, okay, this is the next chapter in this saga, and here we are, that sort of thing, where it wasn't like a mind-blowing, trailer to really get you to react or feel a certain way. It just made you like think, okay, this is the next chapter in this series, this game. And they said this is the last of it, here. They're done with the Norse mythology and all this. So I don't know what they're going to do next with the next God of War, but that one should create more hype than this, because it was just shown like this is the next chapter.
Well, I don't think I certainly don't think it did create more hype at all. Like you said, I mean, I was impressed with the little dragon thingies jumping at him and stuff. I feel like that's more of the Balder moment from the beginning when he was punched through the house and stuff, because it's all real time, and it seemed like something that wouldn't be, I guess. But it looked good, man. I can't complain. I think it's going to be amazing. I hope it has really good side missions. Yeah, nobody here is complaining about it. I think it's going to have, hopefully it has really good side missions. I was surprised by some of the side missions in the last one, though they weren't even close to like, obviously Witcher? Nothing's close to Witcher, but they weren't close to that stuff, but they weren't so shallow, right? They weren't so shallow and you got rewarded for going to these places. You'd find a Souls-esque boss there, and, you'd hopefully kill him. And you got some stuff in return.
I think it's funny when you hear people, because, we use the words, they use the same assets here and there. But have you seen those freaking assets on the PS5? I mean,
every game uses the same assets.
Well, the one thing I get from it then is that, one, to build the game before, they took 5 years, and literally from the documentary we saw, it took them a year and a half to kind of make everything else, right? Like they got the mechanic down, the gameplay down, the assets down, and then they put it all together within I think a year and a half to release it, and they got a 25 to 30 hour game. Like they have all of those things down now already. So imagine how big this game is going to be now that they have all the hard work and the mechanics down already. That's what I think. That's if it's the same length with the same kind of stuff, then I'm like, okay, what took you 4 years to make this? But
hey, Zalker Horse wants to know if you're still mad at him for saying you look like Egon from the Ghostbusters.
yeah, I remember he said that. No, I'm not mad. I'm
Horus,
happy.
Why would he could never be mad at you.
No, I can never.
Ever.
I'm the smart one. Makes sense to me.
He's smart too. He's smart in his family, okay? Just let him have it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. My RDX family.
I think most people are disappointed because they didn't see anything new. I think that was the main thing, that they didn't see anything new. But if you truly looked at the trailer and took some time, it is an improvement over, like it's small, but it's still an improvement. Things look sharper, the facial animation look better, so I don't know.
Atreus looks like twice the bitch he was in the first game.
Like I said earlier, it's not a great trailer. It's not a hype trailer at all. It's just like
there was no world surfer moment,
and they're just showing you just like basic things. Like they're not really showing you. there's no hype to it behind it. Like
But-
there was nothing
But
like
the first
crazy
trailer, the last
happening.
game had the world surfing moment and all that stuff, right? So
Yeah,
we were all like,
Yeah,
that,
Thor
I'm
was
not,
cool.
I think
Thor
it's
was
amazing.
cool.
I think it's gonna be awesome. That's all.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be great.
There'll be many
And
more
it's
trailers
I
before
and
it's
it's the
out.
last one. It's the last God of War Norse with her. I don't know if he misspoke, but after the show, he said this is the finale. He said the finale
Yeah,
to
no,
the
yeah.
Norse
That's,
mythology.
yeah, that's
Yep.
confirmed. Yeah, this is the last one. They're not going to do a trilogy. They're just going to do the sequel. But that bodes well because that means the next version, and I would assume
So
after
no
next
sad
year.
dad. No sad dad next version.
I don't know,
Atreus
man.
is gone.
Well,
next
yeah,
version.
well, he's
Hopefully.
going to be older. He's going to be.
Hopefully you
Well,
don't have to
it's
bitch
not
at him
bad.
the whole game.
Let's about the show though. Let's move on. Let's talk about like to me.
Docker,
what was,
we're
like-
talking about God of War the whole time. Fuck you.
That's it, man.
No,
Nothing
F
else
you guys.
matters.
Hey,
done.
you guys can
I'm done.
unsubscribe from Zocker87 at Zocker87 on
It's
YouTube.
just how much we like
doing it right
God of
now.
War, though. Honestly, like
Look,
the
Fonz
first
keeps
God of
trying
War
to
was so
fearmonger it
good.
and be toxic, and the rest of us is like, Fonz, it's going to be
Oh,
amazing. Don't worry.
No, I just said the trailer wasn't very hype, but no, the game. I'm excited
Yeah,
for the game,
yeah.
man.
I
Love
know,
the
I
game.
know.
I think you said exactly what it was. It's going to be an awesome game, but the trailer it didn't
lacked.
generate the hype. Listen, when we were talking about it last week, we were like, it's going to blow our minds, and that didn't happen. But that doesn't mean that
Boy.
we're saying that the game sucks or it's going to be bad. It just kind of they didn't hit the same level. And that's a very high level that they did in 2017 when they did show. Because I remember when they showed that, people lost their minds. There were GIFs going crazy on the internet. People were like spamming me and saying this and that. But this time, like, it was like right away, people were like DLC, and then you had Gandalf and that other guy, AP. They put up the reusing of the animation, which got an article written about it. But that's what happened with this time. It wasn't the same type of response.
Neko Chief, I disagree. He says God of War didn't look next gen either. Here's the thing: in 2018, when they showed God of War looked more next gen than most of these next gen games now today. So
Oh, shit.
there you have it.
Hey,
God of
by
War
the
looks
way, they did.
incredible.
They did say with Gears of War they're going full next gen with that next one, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every game after this year. Is
Yes,
And
Unreal
it'll be
5.
interesting to see, what that ends up and all that stuff, how that ends up looking. But we do got to move forward. I want to give a few shout outs to Monkey Crow, by the way. He just says, Xbox really need a superhero game? ? As an Xbox fan, I can say I'm
Yes.
pleased with what we get. Now, here's the thing, and this is just facts, right? They don't need to do shit because they've already done so much in the last couple of years with ZeniMax and all that stuff. They're already competing without even trying. They haven't even started.
It's true.
Would I like a piece of the pie, like I said in my last video? Yes. So Microsoft, go to Disney, have them put Spider-Man on Game Pass now.
Honestly, the obvious answer is get Batman.
But Batman's, no one can find that motherfucker. He's hiding. In the vents,
That's the
probably.
obvious
I don't know.
answer,
I don't know what. Like, to be quite honest, I said this in a video. I said this before. The Wolverine, like, I think that's why God of War people were like happy, but that Wolverine thing, like that, just that CGI, people were like, holy shit. And that, and it's like Insomniac again, and it's like,
Yeah.
man. So Insomniac.
So
are
that's the
basically
2025
superhero-
game, right, or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, I don't care what it is. I'm
What do
gonna
you
be playing
mean?
it in 2028.
That's a big ass numbers, Docky.
I know.
Yeah, I don't care
2029.
either.
I'll be
I'm
there day
excited.
one. I don't care. Like,
2030, I'm there.
I'm there. Like Wolverine. Like, dude.
But
Like,
by
to
then,
me,
then Disney's gonna buy Sony, and then put all their games on all the platforms. Who was that last night or sometime that was saying that?
Oh man.
Somebody was saying that at a party. I don't remember who, but it was funny.
But I think,
yeah.
but I think the one thing I think that's what people were clamming for, and I think Xbox should do this, kind of like a my opinion thing, is when they were showing Miles Morales and things, some people were like, "Oh, it's co-op, and it's not." They said it's not. It's just that he's in the game and Miles is in it.
There's
But
gonna
for
be a co-op
me,
mode.
the one thing I
eventually.
love about Xbox is their co-op aspect in their games. I think they do it better than anyone else.
They delayed it
If you're
better
gonna
than
get a
anyone else.
superhero, yeah, if you're gonna get a
Oh.
superhero game, like make it like a Borderlands-esque, like we said with Redfall, but make it with superheroes, like X-Men. Make it with a group. Like, to me, that's what I would want to see.
And not that top-down
Like,
shit.
He
No,
wants
not
the
that
Wonder
top-down shit. I'm
Twins,
talking
man.
about a
He
full-on
wants Wonder
like,
Twins.
That'd be dope with
Takes
X-Men.
form of
That'd be
X-Box.
great.
Exactly. With
Form
X-Men
of a
especially.
Water bale.
Form of Pegasus.
I think I think it's bad. I think that this is a problem. I think that Sony does have a corner of it. They have the Wolverine, Spider-Man. I don't care what anybody says. I'm an Xbox fan. I want to see them compete in every aspect.
Yeah,
And that includes superhero games because I love that shit.
Well, nobody said they don't want them to compete. They said they don't have to do this because they've already done more than
but
this.
there's only been one superhero game in the last 6 years or 2.
Trust me, Zaki, as a fan of Rocksteady, Arkham is one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Batman.
Well, one of the
buy
things
Batman. That's it.
the
Buy
one of the
Batman.
things-
These damn troglodytes.
Wolverine is such a character that if they do this game the way it's supposed to be done,
it's
it's
gonna be amazing.
gonna be huge, man. Wolverine, like, except for maybe Logan, and even that,
Same guy.
Wolverine.
Hey, hang on. Fatal
Wolverine
Dragon
in the
just
movies?
exposed Zocker so hard. Zocker just turned back into Benjamin Button in fetus form. He said that Gotham Nightlights. Nobody gives a fuck about Gotham Knights, bro. I need to see more about that shit. Honestly, I'm excited for it only because they like went into a little bit of detail on how there's like a bunch of side quests and crap, right? But Batman's supposed to be dead in the game. We all know he's not.
Multiplat.
And these guys are talking about exclusive, right?
Yeah.
What about
that's why
how did I turn into Benjamin Button right now?
You started out as Benjamin Button.
So you're dumb.
I just want to finish my.
Listen, here's one of the things that you guys got to consider too, and a lot of people aren't considering. I agree. Listen, I know Zorker, how big of a fan you are of comics and stuff like that, superheroes. I get it. One of the things that Sony has up their sleeve is Insomniac. They have the ability to make these games. Now, let's just say Xbox had let's just say that they took Black Panther. They have him. What studio would you want to do that? I mean, kind of gets dicey.
They don't have any.
Just buy Rocksteady. Xbox. Rocksteady.
They gotta buy Rocksteady.
We're done.
Yeah, but they don't have the manpower. They don't have the manpower to build their own games right now, let alone fucking Black Panther, right?
Well, I mean, like, if they don't, like, what I'm saying is that it doesn't, I don't care. Like, find somebody talented.
Zocker, they could just hire you.
Hire me. I'll do it. Give me $85 million in 30 years.
And then you'll burn through it in 4 months with an $85,000 million crack party.
I'll pull a Platinum Games. I don't give a shit. No, I'm just...
30 years, it still looks like an Ouya game coming from you, Zocker.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I figured out how to save it.
No, I'm just saying, like, I get like what people are saying, but Insomniac, sure, they're crazy, but like, I just think they need to compete in that space. In my head, like, I just want that because I want more of those games, right? It's a selfish thing.
We all do.
Like, I
do
want more of them. Yeah, and it's just that's all I'm saying is that yes, Sony's doing it, and to be quite honest, it's not just a Marvel thing. Like, they just locked down a Star Wars game exclusive. Like, that's there's rumors going around that everybody's going for big name IPs. Well, Sony has shown that, yeah, that's true. They did. They went for Star Wars.
Microsoft showed that shit with fucking all the biggest IP in gaming almost. I mean,
no,
I'm talking about
bro.
Elder Scrolls 6 is bigger
look,
than
you want some Wonder Toys action? I want a Captain Planet game, bitch.
I'm talking like Indiana Jones, right? Like, that's a big IP. Xbox won for it. That's a big intellectual property.
Indiana Jones, I don't know if I would call that a big intellectual IP for most. Like, look, Steven Spielberg won't even touch the shit no more.
I thought, isn't he doing the other one?
He said this shit smells like alien skulls and crystals and crystal crack.
Shia LaBeouf was amazing.
Shia LaBeouf.
You know what? Get back to. I want to give the mic back to D though, because he was talking. Everybody interrupted him about.
Yeah, sorry, Fonz interrupted you. D, what were you saying? He left.
D. He's like, I hate
do the goats. Do the goats noise.
I'm here. No, I was saying Wolverine. Like in the movies, apart from Logan, he's kind of been like watered down. I've never really got to see the real Wolverine on the big screen. And if they do this game, I just want to see the real Wolverine. I just want to see him in a bloody, violent mess, dismembering people.
Oh shit!
Yep. You know, just with blood all over him, because that's Wolverine, and we've never really got that.
Hang on, there was that one Wolverine game where you did get to do that
Origins.
Shit.
Yeah, Wolverine Origins was actually
Raven
really
Software
good.
made
You could dismember. It was bloody, a lot bloodier than the movie.
Like he would actually regenerate. Like they had a layering system where he would lose like chunks of his flesh. D-Bash, you gotta go rent that shit on GameFly, man.
Yeah, no, that stuff was that game. I know what you're talking about. Like, and then D, I agree. If they have one where it's like Avengers, where you hit somebody and sparks fly out, I'm a pissed. Like, I want
everyone's a robot.
Yeah, no, I just want to be like when you hit somebody as Logan or you know whatever Wolverine, like their shit's flying off limbs, they're screaming. Like I want it to be mature as hell.
Zucker, we got to go back to Benjamin Button though because you damage controlled Avengers.
Okay, so all right. Let's.
Did
not
I
kill
really
soccer,
know?
You
all
did.
Let's not kill soccer today.
When did I do this?
Motherfucker, you were the only one excited for Avengers.
I remember being in party chats
and then I walked away.
He said, "I dropped that shit and left."
Okay, so let's
beat the campaign and bounced.
Okay, so Wolverine, here's the thing. The director of this game is saying that this is going to be a mature tone. This is all he said, and people are confirming this as being, mature rated.
Oh, shit.
It's not directly confirmed, but he is saying it's going to be a mature tone. If this is not mature rated, however, it's a fail. If this Wolverine game does not get a mature rating, it's not.
What
it's
if
not going to
they
be a
use creative cuts for the violence and it's still really good?
No, that ain't gonna work.
Listen,
It's got to be mature.
I'm just begging the question for fun.
For them to come out that fast and to say what they said, which is exactly what people like you want to hear, and exactly what people were wanting to hear, means that they know it's gonna be a bloodfest.
Well, it has to be.
Well, we got to tag
and they kind of hinted
Insomniac.
that with the CGI, with the bloody knuckles and the bar and the dead bodies everywhere. Like he just, like they kind of.
Somebody mentioned those, Zucker. Somebody mentioned if you look around at those bodies, there's no dismemberment, there's no blood anywhere.
Oh shit!
Start the screen off with a hand hanging. Like,
help me! He's like stabbing someone to death.
He's like crawling away with no legs.
You would think you might see an arm laying somewhere in the background.
So you want to see Lieutenant Dan crawling on the ground somewhere?
No, I want to see
blood. Where's
I
the
want
blood?
to see
There's
the
no
infamous,
blood in that trailer. There's
I want
no
to see the
blood
infamous
other than his
Zuglug.
knuckles.
I want to see the infamous Zuglug with no head walking around. I'll be back,
You killed me, huh, bitch? Yeah, the orc from Shadow War that comes back with 3 fucking robot eyes and taped on arms. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a CG trailer. It's not represented. It literally says not actual gameplay in the trailer. Yep. It's represented to be a debut, and instead of a logo, they paid a company to do this, right? Probably not even Insomniac themselves or anyone that they even know. So I'm not worried about that. I want to see Insomniac do justice to the characters, and they take a little bit of creative freedom. My Spider-Man review, I think I showed Spider-Man just punting people off in the interstate and freeways and off of skyscrapers, but whatever. It didn't break the game for me.
Motorcycles to the face.
Yeah, and I remember I posted a picture of Spider-Man throwing a motorcycle at someone. Someone's like, he's saving him from the motorcycles. Like, you idiot! I'm literally doing this to this guy in this game. So that stuff doesn't bother me a lot though. So hopefully Lieutenant Dan's crawling on the ground in the game. That's fine.
Well, just even what they showed, I know it's not representative of the game exactly, but what they showed of the bar scene, they showed Logan sitting there, the way he was dressed, the cowboy hat, looks just like the comics from way back in the day. So that already they got right. The Quebec, little sign there, it's in Canada. Yeah. They're getting a lot right with this, character already.
Now, Fonz, if there's an execution button in the game, like someone just said in the chat, will you take points off if there's not an execution button? Chop people's arms off?
Are you talking about like the finishers in Spider-Man where you can hit
you hit Y to claw someone's bamboo, shiv someone?
I just want it to happen.
Some people also
shot and Doom Eternal. Just go ahead.
The glory kill.
So some people.
Oh my god, they might actually do that. Sorry, D. The glory kill in Wolverine. They might actually do that. That's a perfect that is a perfect way to finish people in Wolverine. This is the glory kills from Doom in third person.
Yep.
You're welcome, Insomniac.
Yeah, I think they're going to make this game more along the lines of like God of War style instead of like Spider-Man, where you're running around an open world city. I think it'll be more hub world-ish.
Yes, I think a lot of people also miss in the trailer that the Hulk is going to be in the game because there's a license plate with that said the Hulk on it.
It doesn't mean
that means his car's in the game. D.
I know the Hulk plays a big part in the comics, but I don't know if that's going to happen. If it happens,
I think so. I think so because first of all, he's going to have formidable foes in the game because like he's a beast. So the Abomination is going to be in there.
The biggest foe he's got in the game is tax evasion.
It's going to be all robots. Like
why not the Hulk? And why not use this game to introduce? Because Insomniac has the license now. Why not use this to introduce these games into the, so to speak, Sony MCU of video games? It would make sense.
But is Jim Ryan and Mark Cerny going to be wearing a Wolverine costume
Well, one of the things they
Sitting
said
next to
during
each
the post show, one of the things they said in the post show is they said, yeah, Insomniac's building this Spider universe or this Marvel universe thing. Like they hinted at a universe.
How big is this
So-
team now? Like 280,
I have
250?
no idea, but Insomniac has done something where they have completely partnered like with Marvel, and I don't know if it was because of the success of the first Spider-Man, because they respected one, they respected the source material, and two, they kind of added to it a little bit, and then took Miles Morales again, respected it, and then added to it, which Marvel loves.
Yeah, those side missions were trash. I didn't respect those though.
Which one?
Find my pigeon, Spider-Man.
Let's go listen to a mixtape. Yeah, no, no thanks.
Hey, all right. We gotta move forward. I gotta give a few shout outs. Okay.
Forward.
So, that got us all kicked off. Monkey Crow, thank you so much for that. Spooky Sprocket, shout out to him, man. He says, "Good day, RDX crew from the land down under, Australia, where Astra Gaming's from as well." He says, "Koalas are not cuddly. They chew your face off." Is that actually true?
I found how many people they have.
How?
Insomniac is close to 500 people.
Oh wow,
Jesus.
that's a lot.
Since
they
when?
kept growing.
It says
They kept
400
growing.
It says 400 plus, and then I found I went in there and it says that they're getting close to 500.
Is it like contracted people or what? Which is
think
nothing wrong with that. Like they literally build these
I
studios to
think they're
scale now.
close to. I think it's 400 FTE full-time employees within that company, Insomniac alone, and then maybe they're getting close to 500 with contractors.
All right. Well, let me finish this. So Spooky Sprocket says kangaroos will box your ears in if you follow Outback Dave. He will show you his his didgeridoo. We've also got Z Black Rider who says, "Don't serve me. I work for a living, and superheroes still suck." I disagree, sir. Superheroes can suck, but that's Captain Planet. Also,
Top quality.
Pixelated Pigeon. Shout out to you. Best picture ever. He says Sony's show was decent, but their priority on upgrades / price increases and cross-gen is really off-putting. They were not very transparent with that stuff at all, were they? He says playing too fast and loose. Agreed. And then we got another one here, and I'm a little bit behind here, so we gotta catch back up. Fonz, if you want to help me with some of these, that'd be great. Elvin, he's joined the $50 Super Jack Club. Shout out to you, brother. He says KOTOR combat doesn't need changing. That's actually the only, Zalker, I'm always shitting on the fucking turn-based stuff. Okay, your turn. Go ahead, punch me in the face. I always make fun of that shit. But KOTOR was actually like one of the only games I didn't mind it in. But he says it doesn't need changing. If you don't want to play KOTOR combat, then don't play KOTOR. Not every game. That's a perfect. He just curb stomped that argument, because if you don't like KOTOR combat, why the hell do you want to play KOTOR remade? Like that is KOTOR.
I like
Turn-based doesn't bother me either.
Turn-based doesn't bother me either.
But if they change it
I
up,
hate
like I
turn-based.
said, it'll be something like Final Fantasy VII.
I love Gears
I hate
Tactics.
turn-based.
You
I
hate turn-based?
man.
But
Yeah, it's
his
like-
point is that KOTOR was
it's like slow
KOTOR. It's
motion.
legendary, and if you love KOTOR and you want a remake, you don't mind the fucking combat, the game with it.
Nah, if you're gonna make a remake, re-envisioned for this generation of gamers, you're gonna change it to combat that game.
We need some microtransactions in it too, D-Batch.
No, I disagree. Like Gears Tactic was
Tell the game
was
in 4
different
parts.
because of the style of game it was, and because I don't know, it worked for Gears Tactics, but I don't know, man. Give me some better action in the fucking turn-based shit.
Yeah,
I don't
I
care.
give an option.
Send me all
throw
the dirty tweets you want. I hate turn-based shit. It's slow motion.
Shit.
All right.
It's for slow people.
All right, dealer. Lord Starkiller, he sent a super chat. Says Disney buys Sony and then Microsoft buys Disney. Big win for Microsoft. Just wishful thinking.
And then we got Dark CMF. You can get the next one. Dark CMF said, if I didn't already have one, Wolverine would likely make me buy a PS5. Good thing people have about 4 years. To find one. Good luck. Good point.
Spooky Sprocket, the Initiative, the Coalition, or Arcane could make superhero games for Xbox. That would be 3 studios.
I would not
I'd
give it
look
to the
at.
Initiative. The Initiative has
And
not
I wouldn't
proven
give it
anything.
to Arcane either, personally.
Yeah, and I think you missed
I think
Lord
Coalition.
Starkiller's up here. Lord Starkiller PlayStation Showcase was pretty good. Did you read that one, or did I space out?
No, you did. I think you read that one.
Maybe I did. Nope.
Because I'm at the bottom. I don't see any others.
Well, Starkiller says the showcase is pretty good. Looking forward to God of War GT7. Although the next Forza will be much better. That's super facts. sir.
What do you mean? Horizon looks better than what we saw. Then,
He's just talking about gameplay wise, like physics, and there's actually tire modeling and all that. There's not microwave, easy bake ovens driving down the fucking track.
Acute Perspective says Xbox doesn't require a Marvel game, but a superhero title be cool, even if it was DCU. But Microsoft must get new third-person game studios, just not Ninja Theory.
Why? How come you got to besmirch DCU like that? Acute Perspective, huh?
Hey, there's some great characters on DC. Batman, hello, let's just buy Batman. That's Xbox
that's all we need. Just
Batman.
Need a crackhead in a bat suit. Yeah,
that's it. That's all we need. Batman. That's
and
it.
Manny
says
and Echo the Dolphin.
I'd rather have DC.
Hang on, Fonz. What are you saying?
Manny says the teaser hinted to Hulk versus Wolverine, which it does hint to that. And somebody even mentioned it earlier. Wolverine was actually he came out, like his first appearance was in a Hulk comic, so it makes sense.
I didn't know that.
I would rather have honestly, for if it was DC and what you would call it, Microsoft making something, I'd rather them go mature and do like a villain instead of a superhero. Or like I said, the X-Men, something co-op. And if it is single player, I want a villain. Like make a Deathstroke game.
Make a Magneto game, like Control with the math that works.
You know what?
Ooh.
Deathstroke would work.
Deathstroke like swords and freaking.
And then make him the
guns
boss of the tanks and landmines missions in Arkham. Yeah.
Don't make me get mad. Don't make me get mad. Don't make me get mad.
A lot of people don't know Deathstroke
that.
was in Arkham Knight, and he was the guy that you locked up if you got all the landmine side missions and all the little tank missions. And his mission, his boss battle, is he's in a tank, and you just have to fight another one, and then you lock him up.
Or they could just buy the Avengers sequel and have Hulk beat on a human hit him 5 times before he dies.
I remember Zachary damage control on that one too.
Yeah. What now?
No, that was Obi.
Yeah, it was Obi. I'm about to say, don't be coming at me, Mr. Hellboy 8.
I just don't like that.
Mr. Liar is what you are. Zaka keeps saying I gave the last Hellboy an 8. I told this motherfucker there's 2 scenes in it that are an 8. The rest of it's a 5. And he still runs at this. I'm gonna throw rocks at him. Hey, also shout out to G Nico. I did not. G Nico 559, new channel member. Shout out to you. And then Robert with Lakers logo. They're going to be a threat this year, definitely. He says it will be he will be same rating as Spider-Man Teen. So he's saying that Wolverine will be T for teen or troglodyte.
Nah, man. Did it already get a rating of R?
No, it didn't.
Talk about the damn game.
No,
the game, not an R.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though.
It's NC-17.
The tweet said that they were going to take on a more mature tone. The director said that, and I believe that this will be a mature rating eventually. I'm just like pushing.
You know what?
Well, because the reason why he said that, and their Spider-Man games is T for teen, and him saying it's going to be more mature than Spider-Man, it's got to be a mature rating. It's got to be.
Yeah, man.
Okay, well, here's some. I just want to hand it to D, but someone just followed us up perfectly. Cedric H, shout out to you, a long-time listener of the show. He's got a Wolverine. Is that a Wolverine? What icon is that? I can't tell. It's pixelated. It kind of looks like Wolverine.
He's got a Wolverine fanny pack.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan. He says Spawn would work. A Spawn game.
Yeah, Spawn would work too.
Oh, hell
that's
yeah.
That's one of those characters people forget about that's really, really kind of very interesting.
He's cool, man. Spawn's awesome.
Could spawn himself games for Xbox out of his own suit.
There you go.
Also we've got Pac-Man. He says The Punisher.
Ooh. I would, Frank Castle.
Ooh-wee.
Punisher done by Machine Games.
Oh, my God. They actually have studios now. It's just...
That would work.
That would work. They can make anything. They can make an Uno game.
I like how we're just playing Connect the Dots now. Please.
Yeah, just make everything. They got so many studios now. They're so diverse. They got any team can make anything.
D, what were you going to say?
Husk also says Deadpool. Yeah.
I was just going to say, just based on Insomniac's track record, I have all the faith that they'll do justice to Wolverine. I think they know the sentiment of most people, how they want the game to be, and there are statements that they're coming out and saying so far kind of lead me to believe that they will take care of it. So I'm quite confident in it. I don't know. I think it's a big thing for Sony, man. It's a big get, this Wolverine title. It's a big thing, and I can't wait to play it. I'm excited, man, to get a full-fledged Wolverine game.
That'll be interesting. I gotta top all this off, right? And we can move on. Ryan Bacon, shout out to you. This is just perfect because it kind of fits in with what they're actually doing right now a little bit. Ninja Theory with Joker. Now, I say that because, well, Ryan says that's a great idea because they just did the Project Mar, which is a psychological horror type thing. They did the Hellblade thing where she's kind of going crazy. They got mental illness topics in there. And if you're not wearing headphones, you have not experienced that game. But Joker, that's what's going on with him. Like, they could actually realize Joker in a game, and I don't, whether or not it's a great idea, I don't know, but I think they could pull it off, and I think that's a great connection that he just made between those two.
Joker's kind of hard because he's not an anti-hero, right? So
he just murders everything. Hard. Yeah, it would never happen.
Yeah.
But it's a great. He just connected the dots because that studio could pull it off, and they might even be able to make him like humanize him.
The studio more does like the psychoanalysis of people to help them get better. Joker doesn't want to get better. They're not doing
Joker's
it.
Like fuck you, you're my girlfriend now.
No, he's just like I don't know, man. Like what Heath Ledger said, like in order to get into the mind of like becoming the Joker for the movie, he said that he had to for a month he had to oh, cancer's funny, this is funny, like disease is funny, people dying is funny. Like that's what he said he had to do to become the Joker, which he is the Joker. Like that's what crazy. I don't think you could do that in a game. Like that would be insane.
Well, they don't have to do that. It's really a hell of a leap there, Zaki.
I don't know, man. That's what Joker is, man. Well, if you're making it where he's humanized, it's not the Joker then.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, then half of the shit we've ever seen in comics isn't the original character then, because they've done this kind of switch up stuff with a lot of people.
Yeah, but Joker's like he's just insane.
Look, man. Brian Bacon, I'm sorry, they're shooting this down hard. I tried. Okay. Hectic World. Hectic World. He says, does Insomniac make M-rated games? Answer that first. Well, Rocksteady didn't make M-rated games until Arkham Knight. So, I mean, Arkham Knight's pretty fucking dark at times.
Man, I think either way.
I think Sony showed us that they're not afraid to do that, to do mature games.
Superheroed out?
Yeah, I'm superhero.
Never. I'm waiting for the boys to premiere. Come on.
Beaner lists a bunch of franchises like Spider-Man, Ghost, Last of Us, Ratchet, Uncharted. How is Insomniac going to give Logan the Sony signature lasso?
He needs a kid. He needs a kid to walk around and escort.
Boy. I don't know. But yeah, I'm almost done with these. Lord Starkiller says, how about King Shark from Suicide Squad?
No. Hell no.
You shot that one down hard, Starkiller. I'm sorry. I don't know what King Shark did to him.
And then I was cringed out by that movie, man. Especially that.
Yeah, King that Shark. Movie was kind of weird. Kirby Louise says Elite Series 2 RGB. Think pink. How do you change the color of that? Somebody tell me in the chat. And then Davari says we only have 2 big shows left for the year, TGS and the Game Awards. Do you guys think something big will be announced? Tim Dog, go! You haven't spoken in a minute.
100% the Game Awards. I believe Xbox will be really, really looking to make a statement. Yeah, I don't think they're going to have a... I don't
Bugs
think
next from Xbox.
No, I don't think they're gonna have an XO 2022 because of COVID. And they had pulled some stuff off of the E3 originally. That I do believe that will be resurfaced there. I could see 2 game announcements or 2 game showings, and a real strong presence there. I think that they're gunning for that for the sole reason because. The Game Awards is now, it's a big deal as far as it gets high ratings. It gets a lot of eyes on it, and it's kind of becoming that. It's kind of like the Emmys of gaming, and
except that Sony wins every year.
Yeah, Sony has one. Keighley, obviously, he does a great job. And I've been joking around with him on Twitter and stuff, but. I think even him answering me.
Tim Dog, hang on. You weren't here that week where Keegley, as you call him, said, "Are you ready, Tim Dog?" What the fuck is that about? He tweeted at you. This guy with 1 million+ followers. He's like, "Are you ready, Tim Dog?"
Yeah, he knew that they had Halo, and I think that he realizes that I have a lot of people in the community that watch my Twitter, and I'm a kind of a hype guy on Twitter, and. He even answered, we were going back and forth yesterday on Twitter. He knows that Xbox is going to use his show as a catalyst to show their games. And I'm happy with that. TGS, the Japan show, that's not going to be really for how do I say this right? It's really going to be for people in Japan and their gamers.
That's what I said in the video. I said, there's going to be news in that region that the people in this region don't care about. Keep that in mind.
Right, and we have different tastes, and that's fine. But they're going to, I think, cater to that. Whereas I do think that Hellblade 2, possibly Avowed, maybe another game announcement is going to make a presence at the Game Awards.
Confirmed. King Shark game. Exclusive.
I mean, I understand that that's probably going to happen with the Game Awards.
Exclusive.
I mean, last year it had 83 million people watch it, almost 100 million.
Exactly.
Huge.
That thing is huge. So yeah, of course they're going to announce more.
Yeah,
stuff
but I mean, was that after the fact when the fucking Series X was revealed there?
No, this is last year's.
Was that before the Phantom of the Menace?
Series X was 2 years ago.
Was that after the
triple season?
Acquisition. Where are those acquisition seasons? Which season are we in?
Yeah, what happened? Yeah,
I don't know. It's
already
we've already changed the seasons. It's not summer anymore, right?
Which one of y'all kicked me?
Which one of y'all said that?
I don't know who said that.
Someone kicked me.
Somebody said.
Which one of y'all was it?
Era, I think somebody on Reset.
Sony acquisition.
Reset Era is trash. Anybody on there that actually goes there is suspect. Hey, like I was like 6 years ago. Hey, Lord Starkiller. He says, how about King Shark? Sorry. Again, Fonz has messaged me right now. He's really against this a lot. He doesn't like it at all.
I don't think so.
Donald Tucker says Wolverine would be the Halo rated M, not the Doom rated M. Hopefully not, because that's not fucking Wolverine. Glory kills with Wolverine. Yep. We've also got Widya Santos. He says Judge Dredd. Only if Stallone can come back and kill the game like he did his career in the end.
And Wesley Snipes is the villain.
That's Demolition Man.
Yeah.
You're on TV.
Wrong one. It's Demolition Man.
Yeah. Wesley Snipes, man, I miss him in movies. Monkey Crow, he does say the Coalition developed Spawn or Hellboy with new engine. ? Hopefully not. Hopefully not, especially Hellboy. I mean, I'm not, Guillermo del Toro murdered those for me. I'm going to give your whole channel -8. Danny Passion Official, shout out to you. He does say not all superhero games have been good. Most of them have not been good. That's why the Arkham series broke out, right? They kind of redefined what people thought was possible with superhero games. But he says, please name me 5 superhero games that have been good in the last 5 years. They ain't been 5 superhero games, bro. Has there?
There's only been Spider-Man. In the last 5 years. There's been Spider-Man and Miles Morales. That's it.
Avengers.
Avengers was trash.
The Avengers.
That was trash.
And that could have been good, but Square Enix fucked it up.
Superman 64. Oh yeah.
Superman 64. Shit was fire.
Wow.
Talk about some Mario rings.
Arkham Knight was 2015, and since then it's been Avengers, Spider-Man, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. That's it.
There's probably another one you're forgetting.
I feel like that's. I mean, there was another one called Marvel Heroes that was awesome, and then it got shut down for the Avengers game.
Because it wasn't that
just
awesome.
Came out.
There was a Deadpool game.
It was amazing.
There was a Deadpool game, yeah.
Oh, there was a Deadpool game,
but it was quite forgettable. Wasn't that in 2013?
I feel like that was a long.
Seemed like
ago.
a long time ago.
Because I think there was a. It was a long time ago, yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, let's move on.
Hey, shout out to Suk Hee. I don't know what that is, but thank you. And then Horace, shut up, Zucker. Horace, he says, "Fuck you, Zucker. I hate you so much." No, that's not what his chat says. I'm sorry. He says they have to make Wolverine sad dad to get a 10. That's not true, Horace. Stop it. And then Space Dovahking.
Kind of true. It's kind of true.
Space Dovahking. Shout out David. I think he changed his name. And Jeff Grubb said there's more delays this week. So, man, I just hope he doesn't delay that haircut because it's glorious. I hope he does delay that haircut. So. Don't insult Jeff's hair. I think it's fantastic. And then Acute Perspective said Microsoft should consider buying from software studios. They could be Microsoft Other third, I don't know, man. Other third-person studio. Do we really need another Dark Souls game that's called something else that's not called Dark Souls? Because that's all they've made their whole time. And then Callie 486, shout out to him. He says, "How about a Mandalorian game by Coalition Super Butt Hero?"
Yes.
Nevertheless,
There was a lot of
agree.
rumors about that, right?
That'd be good.
About Xbox getting a Star Wars.
oddly specific.
They had a fake game that they put out there that like this little. They showed a little bit of this so-called Mandalorian game, and it was just it turned out.
It was someone's foot stepping on a board like that fucking abandoned game.
No, they made somebody made something, but it wasn't being in production and everything. It wasn't the Mandalorian. Just fake.
Well, chat, let us
think
know.
it's
Let us know what you think Microsoft should do and all that good stuff. 1,400 people watching this, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't. Let's start to get closer to 1,000 people watching for the end of the show. We do appreciate it. We're gonna move the fuck on. There's a lot of stuff there. Gran Turismo sucks. PS5 cooling numbers. Fonzarelli, you posted these, right? There's now just a quick recap, like a soap opera. My exact words were, we don't know what the internal temperatures are of the new PS5. Yep. The external temperatures are hotter, but that doesn't mean the internal temperatures are hotter, especially the slot for the SSD. Beetlejuice agrees. What are the numbers?
I don't have the exact
Oh my
numbers
God,
here with me.
Fonz.
But here's the thing, though. It's 11 degrees cooler on average.
In
on
the
new-
inside.
On the inside of the PlayStation.
Now, what about the
5.
SSD slot? Did you stick your tongue up to it?
I didn't stick it. No. That's disgusting. All right. That's disgusting.
He had to say no.
He's trying to start feeding into it, but he's like, fuck, this is different.
Let's just go.
So
a
basically,
different
that doesn't mean they're going to clock the PS5 higher because the old games are stuck, where they're at in the frequencies and all that stuff anyway. But, it does mean that hopefully that SSD slot is a little bit cooler.
Aren't you glad we didn't run with any of that and say, it's
We
gonna melt?
We never run with any of that bullshit. We always, have fun and make jokes, but then we
more
say
testing needs to be done.
Yeah, it's super
Where
facts.
are these numbers coming from? Because when I initially saw these numbers, I think it came from like a reset error thread or something like that.
And that's how you know it's suspect.
It was a video. There's a video, and it was people that took it apart. You see them do it all, and they're.
Oh, so there's a video on it.
Yeah,
and even though
it's on
Austin
YouTube.
Evans said, and the PlayStation guy there with him said that, there needs to be more testing, more on still made videos about Austin Evans and all this dumb shit when they didn't even know what the fuck he said. But yeah, I mean, who gives a shit,
I'm waiting,
right?
I'm waiting for the Gamer Nexus numbers, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's definitely the one.
Somebody else couldn't do it, right? It's
trash.
I mean, they are the most accurate, like some of the smartest guys.
Yeah, they are, and they do have one. They received it yesterday from Digital Foundry, so a video should be going up.
Oh, okay,
though
that's good.
They really know how to test their stuff. They're the top of the top, man. So those numbers.
Well, you saw the numbers, right?
Reliable.
I
briefly looked over. I saw some of the numbers, but to be honest, I'm personally waiting for the Gamers Nexus analysis of it.
So D-Batch is basically saying, I don't trust those guys. I think this is
I'm not. No, it's. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't.
Which one of y'all kicked me?
I don't think it's gonna melt. No, I think it's within spec.
You said it last time. You don't think it's going to melt or anything. Obviously, that's dumb.
No. But
next week they start melting. He's like, shit.
I should have said it would melt.
There's a different design, so let's see what this entails for the PlayStation 5. So
yeah, because I'm curious to know how you feel about its longevity after you see the.
Well, if it's getting hotter, period, it does affect longevity. I don't care what device you have.
But he said it's 11 degrees cooler. They don't need that copper top no more.
What's cooler?
The guy holding up the PS5 because it's the coolest brand.
Well, let's wait for these other numbers.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, well, yeah, if you can't tell, chat, none of us really give a shit. We didn't say it would overheat or anything negative last time we talked about it. But it is not strange at all that this happened because we literally said that this was what was happening. Last time we heard about a redesign, it was 100% for cost reduction. And maybe the next one have a die shrinkage, and that way they can stop using liquid metal because it's very expensive for a console. And then they can stop putting so much plastic and metal into this and a giant fan and shrink the size of it. And then it's going to be cheaper.
Well, I got this. The CPU on the PS5, the new one, is running at 40 degrees Celsius, where the old one's running at 51.
Now, are you sure the old one didn't have an old dead rat clogged up in there?
What's the rest of the components? Is the memory running hotter?
The memory is warmer, 8 degrees warmer.
Oh, shit.
VRM is warmer by a couple degrees.
So what about the
that's-
little slot where your
that's-
tongue was next to?
That's kind of strange. So we need to see.
So
other numbers.
man, if they needed to clock it up, but then that would make things kind of weirder unless they got some kind of plans to make that stuff work better on PlayStation. We know that frequency for frequency, they try to match that stuff with hardware back compat, right? That's the big advantage Xbox has going forward. The emulation over actual hardware back compat. So that's why when we talked about some of their older enhanced games loading slower on the PS5 and people are like, that SSD ain't doing shit. No, I'd always said on the show, that SSD is not being utilized. Hardware backward compatibility, it's not allowed to run like it wants to. It's still held back by the old decompression of what the system thinks is an older hardware surrounding it. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to see. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, but I guess that, when Austin did break it down, though, he said the chassis was all the same. Everything was the same except for the heat sink and less copper. And the fan. The fan was new. It was different.
He had like a more curved design.
And if it's better, I was thinking, can we not just throw that in one of our old original PS5s? I mean, if it's the same chassis, why? I don't see.
I've also heard some reports of some guys that have the older PlayStation 5 saying that they don't have that fan. They have the fan that like a different type of fan.
They have an Xbox Series X fan in there. They
or
open it up.
I know
similar
there's two
fan to
different
the one,
types.
the new one. So,
Well, see, because I see two different fans in the originals. There's two different fan models.
I want to
the
fan
original
over to a new
PS5.
topic, Fonzarelli.
But this one is a newer one, so I don't know. It's better.
Yeah. What about Sony buying FireSprite real quick? That's a PSVR indie developer that they apparently sold and bought and resold and bought. What the fuck's going on with that? Tim?
Well, listen, my take on this is simple.
Did they buy them, sell them, buy them, sell them?
Listen, I love all the Sony guys who made fun of Xbox's smaller, acquisitions, and said, this and that, and are all super positive about this and saying, yeah, the 250 devs, and they did all this and being super positive.
Well, most of those developers are contracted, right?
Yeah,
like 70% of them.
Yeah, a lot of their guys that they had.
Which isn't a bad thing.
Right. They were previously with them with, I think it was London, PS London. I forgot the name. They basically shuttered a studio like 5 years ago, and they hired a lot of the people back, and they don't have a lot of noteworthy games, a lot of PSVR stuff.
You're saying it's trash.
Well, listen, it's an upstart studio. And I'm sure they're going to be working on. I think they're going to be working on multiplayer type games. Because I think PlayStation needs that, and they want to get some revenue streams from that way. But like I said, you could be real positive about this, and usually with studios, I tend to be positive. So I hope that this is good for them. But am I going to be honest? If I'm going to be honest. It's not really that big of a deal. I mean, they got some, a developer, but is it Insomniac? No.
Are they going to develop more games on the PC?
Are they going to develop more games on the PC? I think that all points to that, and they have some type of strategy, whether it's PC with Nixis or with this. I believe this is going to be multiplayer type games that they're going to have. That at the end of the day, it's just more variety for Sony, so it's good. But it's kind of like a under the radar pick, and I don't really know. You can't. I don't think you get super excited about it. Just gotta wait and see. And that's it. Sony looks to be trying to compete with Xbox, but they just can't compete with Xbox on the same level, because they don't have the capital that Xbox has, that Microsoft has. But it's nice to see that they're trying. Originally, Jim Ryan said that they were gonna, just grow organically. But since then, I think they bought 3 studios or 2 studios, and this remains to be seen what it's gonna be and how big it is. I would just wait and see on it. I don't think you're gonna get
They're gonna bring back Warhawk from the PS3.
Yeah, like something like, no, it is going to be like something like that.
And
Or
Lair.
it's going to be a multiplayer game that, you know, with microtransactions and stuff that they can make money, because those type games are severely lacking on Sony, and they know that there's ways to make money there. And so that's the way I find it, you know, where it's going with them. But, you know, like I said, it's just a wait and see. But I'm glad that they're trying to compete.
Yeah. Speaking of smaller studios, I want to give a shout out to Double Fine. Psychonauts 2 was amazing. Thank you for that experience.
Well, they made it just for you, Fonz.
They did. Just
They
for
said,
me.
they said,
heard
let's
I
get
liked the
that
first
boy
one.
Fonzarelli. Little Psychonauts.
No, I loved it, man. I freaking loved it.
What would
I
you give
beat
it out of 10?
Saturday night, Sunday night. I give it an 8.5. It was great. It was almost a 9 for me. I just deducted a little bit here for certain things.
No
but
executions?
As a whole, this thing was amazing, man. Such a great game. So much diverse gameplay mechanics and stuff within the game. It's
like
just
when you're
so
running
much
the
going on
race
for
as
it.
the heart, right, and all that stuff. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
man.
multiple games in one in a way,
Yep.
which is neat.
It's incredible, man. Like this thing just wipes the floor with a lot of AAA games, man, that we've seen as of late.
And
So-
I tweeted it out. People were apparently making fun of it, like on the Sony side, but the texture work and materials work in the game is going
Dude,
to stand out.
That's why I tell you, you need to finish this game, because at the end, towards the end of the game, there's some level design there that is absolutely gorgeous.
I
man.
want
Just
to
gorgeous.
finish it, man. I just feel like I need a little co-op buddy. There's
good,
someone
man.
like next to me in a chair, like, hey, here, now your turn.
Yeah, no, it's so good.
I'll see you
So
over here at the
it's
show,
definitely a
Fonz.
contender for Game of the Year. If this does not get nominated for Game of the Year, it's a damn shame. I'll tell you that.
So,
Damn shame.
chat, let us know if you think it's going to get nominated and if you've beaten Psychonauts 2. I plan on it. Like I'm probably halfway through it. I've been playing Alien Dogshit Team Elite and a bunch of other shit we'll talk about at the end of the show. But again, we do have other topics, and I want to try to make it through at least most of these. FireSprite's interesting. There's some new games coming to Game Pass and stuff about like Phoenix Point, like Zachary pointed out earlier. Artful Escape. If you are a musician, right? And yes, it's not that complicated of a game. It's very simple. But if you're a musician, play the game. Like, the game really resonated with me. You know, I have almost 20 guitars. So I really, really I'm into music. I produce music, all that stuff. And it's one of those games where, yeah, you're holding X and you're doing, you know, Simon Says, but at the same time, if you understand like the composition and what goes into a lot of this stuff, it hits you a little different. I think that's why Colt liked it a lot too. And it's gorgeous. It's a shame it doesn't have HDR, but I mean, it's a neat game. Maybe too much dialogue, probably, but it's
1,000%.
it's the
Like,
dialogue
I
knocked it down to
literally,
6.5 for Zachary. He's like, I can't play I can only play the skin flute. Can't even play guitar, and now there's too much talking.
It's like, well, no, you just hit like at some point I was like, all right, I don't care about the story. I want to get to the gameplay, and then I realized that the gameplay is you just smashing A to get through the dialogue, and then running to your right and holding X. That's it. That's what you do. And then when you get to the boss fights, you do a couple little quick time
Don't believe
events,
Zaki, it's magical.
Simon Says. That's all it, and it looks great. Like the game looks great when you're running to the right and holding X. But other than that, like I kind of got a little bored with it, and I beat it. It was great, but no, it wasn't.
It's good. It's good so far, guys.
I give it like it's okay. It's average.
This is a man that defended Sea of Thieves when it was at its worst. Okay, chat, don't believe him. If he can, defend Sea of Thieves at launch, then he can tolerate little bitty Artful Escape.
Artful Escape, where you just sit there, go right.
Old eggs.
It's better than collecting chickens
I'm a
and pigs.
musician now, Fonz.
You're not a
Next to
musician,
slide.
but those
I can play
some
the
of them in the
guitar.
chat. Look at these guys in the chat. Some of them get it. They play an instrument besides the skin flute.
I see them talking about Orcs must die. That's what
Hey,
they're talking about.
that's Titan Drago. We're supposed to play Orcs Must Die soon.
Hey, Soccer. I held X. I could play the guitar now.
Me too now, Fonz. I'm Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, you're both bitches. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hey, shout out to Epic Troy. He says Miles is not standalone game; it's DLC. Standalone DLC is kind of a standalone game, but yeah, I mean they said it themselves. Who was that? The president guy said it himself. But you know, it doesn't mean it's not fun. Zach really enjoyed it. I'm gonna go through it eventually.
Yeah, I think I got like 15 hours out of it. It's great.
What the fuck did you do for 15 hours in that game?
Everything on the map, man.
You sound like Fonz in the Ghost of Tsushima Dinky Island.
Dinky Island.
Rinky Dinky Island DLC. Yeah, that's what I played.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I collected
man,
every
had a blast.
fox. Every fox led me to the crack house. I went in there and there was nothing.
Why you gotta be this way?
Hey, Horace, he says cutting edge tech talk. Take all the shit out of the system and make the fan bigger. That will cool it down. And just take the side trace off and make sure you vacuum out the dust ports. It's just like an old PC where people take the sides off. That shit's running 10 degrees cooler now, D-Batch. D-Batch is, yeah, he's a live person.
Facts. He just facts.
Icy hot win-win for Jimmy. Shout out to you, brother. Again, thanks to everyone in the super chat. Lord Star Kelly says, how about Duke Nukem as superhero?
Oh my god.
I don't know, man. Duke Nukem.
No, please,
Today it just wouldn't
no.
work, and I'm not sure. It's kind of like going back and watching what movie was that? Like Liar Liar. Like that movie was always really good. And then you go back and you're like, the jokes are fucking, they're so
Stale.
90s, 2000, like
How dare you make
it's
fun of Jim
like
Carrey like
the
that?
corny fucking just.
They were great when you were 10.
Well, there's
Yeah.
corny sex jokes. Like, just say what it is.
Yeah,
Right? It's
some
all
of them,
really cringy now, and it doesn't really work. But I mean, Duke Nukem is kind of like he's stuck in that era, maybe. Unless you could redo it and make, but that wouldn't be Duke Nukem. That's not what he's about. I mean, that guy has every STD there is.
Ah.
I don't want you to forget that, Fonzarelli. When
You could still you could still do them. You'd have to modernize
I
it,
don't want to
man.
do him.
I don't think you can though. Spooky Sprocket. Let me know if you can redo Doof Nukem. Doof Nukem forever. Doof Nukem forever in modern times.
Junior.
I'm not sure you could. But anyway, Fonz, he was just telling us he really wanted the Doof Nukem game the other day, and
A new
a Doof
man, I
Nukem.
could say something right now and it would be funny, but not so funny.
Well, I know you love Doof Nukem forever.
Noof Nukem Forever was a great game. Yeah. Shout out to Noof though. that's
Like seriously though, I love Noof is funny. I get the Duke Nukem and Noof Nukem name. I'll be randomly talking about one of them and switch them up on accident. It's kind of like GameStop and GameSpot. It just happens. But anyways,
Yeah, I do that. I do that all the time.
the PS5 Pro and Series X refresh, Series S refresh stuff. Quickly debatch in a minute or less. What's the bullshit? What do you think's real? And do you even give a fuck? Yeah, they really slow start to that minute.
I know that AMD is, TSMC, they're going to be switching over to 6 nanometer. So like 6 nanometer.
Where's the rumors coming from? Are they credible? Is it more bullshit from dead laws?
Yeah, I think it's just bullshit. I think it's just people seeing that 6 nanometers coming down the pipeline and saying, okay, I think console's going to get it too. And I think they will get it. I just don't think it's happening next year. I think it's going to be like the earliest, this is my opinion, the end of 2023, but most likely 2024 is when we're going to see like a refresh on both the Series X and the PlayStation 5. They're going to make their revisions. Sony's going to try to make up for their deficiencies in the PlayStation 5 that are versus the Series X. And of course, Microsoft is going to be looking to bolster their Series X to be in a position of power once again for the second half. So I don't think that shit's coming till like 2024. It's not happening anytime soon. I don't know how you could be saying that with all the freaking shortages that are happening. So
they would actually know like this far out anyway.
No, they wouldn't know. If anything, it's coming 2024. The end
I got a lot of
2023.
messages, D-Bash. I'm sure you did too. And I just wanted to. I didn't feel like going over it. That's why I didn't even make a video about it. I'm certainly not making a video about 8K gaming. That shit's fucking stupid.
Oh my
We are
Why you
just
gotta
gonna
be shady for?
Well, you gotta be toxic.
motherfucker. So yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's been a bunch of videos about 8K gaming and all this dumb shit. Microsoft are not targeting that. The TVs aren't going anywhere anytime soon. They can sell them all they want. The content's not there, and it does. For quite frankly, the 4K OLED beat the 8K Samsung last time I checked. I'm not really.
The fucking ear. The
Oh,
fucking
like-
ear.
The fucking ear. I don't give a shit.
Leave 8K alone. 8K is nowhere near being anything possible on the next generation consoles apart from like old generation games.
You're right, D.
Let's just get this 4K 60, 4K 120 with physics, with all the bells and whistles, great textures. Let's just worry about that. Like the next generation consoles, you know, they're very capable. They're running 60 FPS. You know, a lot of games are running 4K 60 FPS. Not everything is running 4K 60 FPS. We're still using dynamic.
But, you know, a lot of the systems not yet utilized either. You know,
cool.
So.
Yeah,
Cool your jets on the 8K.
Yeah.
All you got to say is this, D. If a high-end computer can't run 8K 120 frames, you're not going to do that on a console. So just stop.
Period.
Is it 8K 120? It's so stupid.
Oh, speaking of consoles, like in the, you know, AMD and stuff, real quick, D, I just wanted to ask you, since you're here now, why is it that consoles have never used like Nvidia instead of AMD?
They have. The original Xbox
Well,
did.
in the past, yes, but they haven't.
Nvidia want more money.
The price. Yeah, the price.
Price.
Nvidia doesn't like to use Loop, so they said no thanks.
They don't like to
That's
use
basically it.
I can assume that they would be better for
well, no, like in terms of cost for money, you can't beat an APU right now for performance.
Just look how Nvidia prices their GPUs. Their GPUs are sky high, and the only reason why they're not even higher is because AMD is bringing the fight to them, and their shit's competitive. If AMD stuff was not competitive, you think it's bad having to pay $1,300 for a 3080? That shit would be like $1,600-$1,700.
And again, you can't beat an APU for something like a console, integrated systems, and everything all in one with low power consumption. You just can't beat an APU for something like a console. So they can't compete with that right now on the Nvidia side. They just can't.
Yeah.
And look, and further proof of that is look at Nintendo. Nintendo's using their stuff, but they couldn't afford the high end stuff to put in their consoles. It would cost them too much, so they had to use like the mobile.
And these dumb shits put an OLED in it instead of dropping the price. Like what the fuck?
My gosh,
yeah, Kirby. Yeah, I know some of the older consoles did, but I just wondered why the new consoles didn't ever go into that route. But yeah,
something soured, and I can't remember Zocker when you guys can look it up, but something soured in the deal with Nvidia and Microsoft, where like Nvidia said, okay, you want to use this stuff, we're going to start charging you this and that. Something fell apart, and Microsoft made they said we're never going to use them again for our consoles.
Gotcha.
So you can look back the history.
Nvidia's official quote last I heard, they said that Nvidia said we're not willing to build the chips for what those guys are willing to pay. This is basically Nvidia kind of raised their nose and said they wanted rather fuck their PC gamers instead.
Right. Yeah, you guys drove that home. It makes sense. But yeah, this whole 8K gaming is just ridiculous.
Pegasus Legion, roll out.
It's there for the it's there for the buzzword, you know. They consumers here. Oh, it's 8K. Now, listen, we want 4K. We want 120 frames.
Yeah.
You know, even if it was 1440p, I'm good with that. I want more 120 frames. I played Psychonauts 2 in 120 frames. Wonderful, man. Like beautiful. That's what I want.
Beautiful. So smooth.
Yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and move forward. But yeah, Nvidia, last time they did talk about, as I stall here, they did say that Microsoft, Sony didn't want to pay them quite what they wanted to be paid. And I think it's gotten to the point now where AMD's APUs are doing some pretty cool stuff. But, quickly, Microsoft buy Clipchamp. This might be why the fucking piece of shit DVR on the series consoles are still fucked. And it's genuinely annoying because you're told by people on the damn team for Xbox that the things we're putting people on it, we've accelerated the process. People are bitching about it on Twitter. I think they said this just to shut us up for a little bit. But it's been fucking a year almost, and I still can't share a damn clip without the luminance of it being fucked, with the audio being fucked, or just a black weird rainbow stripe thing at the hard reset things, or if I clip too many like clips, right? If I trim them, then that stops working altogether. Hard reset. It's just it's the fidelity and all that's exactly the same. It's still 4K 23 meg per second.
There's glitches in the graphics as well sometimes. Like my screen will flash white at times.
There's glitches, bitches.
Listen, you have a console, like they dropped the ball on this big time. You have a console that is powerful, that can output great looking games. You want people to be able to share that content out on YouTube, on Twitter, wherever, throughout social media. And you not having this up still almost a year into the launch of this console, is unacceptable, man. Like I had to go out and buy a capture card just so to be honest with you, for both consoles. I got it for like the PlayStation 4 because that capture was crap. The PlayStation 5 has better capture, whatever. But the Xbox Series X, you can't capture anything from
and
that
guess
console.
what?
You need a
Most
capture
people are
card.
still trying to share stuff from Twitter, the integration built into the console, which could be way better. You can't tag people or nothing, but it's there's work to be done. And I think the reason I bitch about it is because I'm not satisfied with it, and I continue to say this. I will not change it until it's fixed. Because in my opinion, you're showing the world that Microsoft never expected this many clips to be uploaded. This is something that they did not expect to have this much bullshit flying into their servers. And that's why they do have these limitations on length and all this stuff. But as a company that understands how powerful that share button is, and you literally implemented that bitch into the new systems, you're sharing a piece of shit. Like, you need to fix your DVR clips, right? So I just know what the games look like and what they end up looking like on these clips. And I don't think there's an excuse for it. Get somebody to at least fix the damn problems of the existing over the carryover 1X DVR. Fix that. It's been a year. It's worth it. Put one guy on it. So again,
Hashtag demand better.
Demand better, y'all. And Microsoft buying Clip Champ might have something to do with that. Windows Central suggests that could be, some way that they improve the DVR, or maybe they're bringing that over. But damn, put one guy, the coffee guy, on it and have him fucking fix the problems at least for the year we're waiting for it, Anyway, Nvidia. This is going to be a topic that's pretty interesting. Zalker, wake the fuck up. Nvidia leaks a bunch of shit. Jez Corden of Windows Central suggests that everything he knows of it is true, is accurate. And this has everything from PlayStation leaks, a ton of PlayStation games coming to PC, as we've said for years, God of War on here, all kinds of stuff, all the way up to Gears of War 6. What do you know?
This thing had a lot. Like, it wasn't just Sony and Microsoft. It was Square Enix, Capcom, Take-Two, EA, Bandai, Curve Digital, Devolver, Crytek, everybody. Like WB, Batman Arkham Knight RTX Remaster. There's a bunch of stuff in here that...
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm not even joking. WB Batman Arkham Knight RTX Remaster.
So they're updating the Arkham Knight game for the PC?
I mean, that's what the leak says. It's not like, obviously this is all like just...
But if Jezzy Poo's saying he seems like this is accurate...
Jez is more talking about the accuracy of the Microsoft leaks, like the Project
Well,
Holland.
If those are on there, then that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
This
and then the other thing was the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves, which was announced. God of War, GT7, Horizon Forbidden West, Returnal, Demon Souls, Ratchet & Clank, Sackboy, and Ghost of Tsushima. And if they're on there for the Nvidia thing, that means that they're most likely coming to PC.
They are coming to PC.
Yeah, so all those games on top of it. There's a lot, man. Like an Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster, 7-9 remake, Tomb Raider Anniversary.
This is the old Dreamcast one.
Yeah,
wait,
BioShock RTX Remaster, BioShock 2022.
Woo!
Titanfall 3, Tekken 8, Bayonetta 3.
Tekken 8?
K-Mega's going to love that. Shout out to K-Mega and GRG.
Half-Life 2 Remastered. This is all from this massive leak that just completely...
These are like NVIDIA drivers and stuff that are basically
they're
leaking.
GeForce Now as a data leak, basically, is what happened. And this person...
I like those.
This person did this whole thing, and he showed how he did it and how he got it, and now it's just like all out there for the PC platform. So all these things are
a ton
PC.
of like 10, 15, 20 PlayStation games coming to PC.
Wait a second. Dealer,
You
are you telling me...
mind fucked right now?
wait. Are you telling me... Wait. All the time I heard that Game Pass is coming to the PlayStation. I heard that Microsoft games are coming to the PlayStation.
Let's talk about it.
Are you telling me that PlayStation games are coming to the Microsoft ecosystem, which is Windows 10?
Let's talk about it, D-Batch. That's a big 10-4.
Pretty much. That's a big 10-4 from back in 2018.
I don't even remember. I don't even know what the fuck that means, but 10-4. Now I know we got a lot of guys on the road. Stop it, Fonz. You're besmirching the trucking industry.
Well, and they also talked about Project Oxide, which is unannounced.
Project Oxide
strategy sim game that Microsoft's working on. It's like a city builder. And then Gear 6 is in there. Untitled. This thing called Indus Kalimba. There's a bunch of... This thing was huge. Like, this was a massive leak that had more than just that. But the thing is there's no Bloodborne, Spider-Man, or Last of Us, on there. So I don't know, people are saying, so is that coming to PC or not? so people don't know.
Well, it'll come after. They'll release it like a year
Hey,
after.
Kirby says Kirby says the guy that leaked all this stuff gave Nvidia 3 months heads up, and they didn't say anything.
Wow.
Yeah. Apparently, and then what they're saying in the chat too is that Nvidia has confirmed that this list is true.
He says that it was GFN information, not drivers. Yeah, that's what I was asking. Is it like the drivers for all the games leaked in some kind of list? What happened? So
Exactly. The weird thing is Horizon Forbidden West. Like that's not even out on
what
the
do you
PS5
mean?
yet, right?
Weird thing.
Like,
I mean, that's perfect timing. Boom, perfect timing.
It's in GT7. Like a bunch of
Wait,
like.
But when?
all the-
But when?
and
But why would
Horizon-
they be in this list if not sometime in the next year or two?
Horizon Forbidden West would make sense because the original Horizon is on PC, so you launching it simultaneously is gonna get you sales, man.
It's
That's
not gonna.
for sure.
It's not gonna be simultaneously. I
No.
think it'll be like at least 6 months out or a year.
Stop
out
it, Fonz.
from-
You can cling on
I
to
think-
this
I
if you
think-
want,
I
but
think-
it's going to
I think-
happen.
I think that game is gonna be a little bit shorter. I think they might test the
even-
waters with that game.
But even 6 months out is pretty damn short. if
But
that were to
I mean,
happen.
it was like it's going to be day and day. It's a matter of time.
Oh, and then they
Matter of
also Injustice 3, Gods Will Fall, XCOM 3,
Wow.
Death Stranding Director's Cut coming to PC, Sniper Elite 5, City
Ooh.
Skylines, Destroy All Humans 3,
Wonder if they're going to be
um,
$70 for Death Stranding.
Oh shit!
Payday 3, Hitman Pro, Wreckfest sequel, Worms next.
No,
There's
you
it's
know
a
what?
massive.
You know,
the
Fight-
thing is,
another game called
Sony,
Fight for Middle Earth. So I don't know
Sony-
if that's a sequel to things.
Sony doesn't have the balls to put their games at $70 on
Yeah,
PC.
exactly.
'Cause who's gonna buy that? Nobody's gonna.
Exactly.
I bought Deathloop on PC. I paid like I don't know, like $40 American or something. I bought for the PlayStation 5 NBA 2K22 anniversary
Hang on,
edition.
I'm confused. Why'd you get it for the PS5? You fuck.
I mean, not for the PS5. Sorry, for the PC. My bad. For the
Wow.
PC.
Wait, do you guys get the next gen version now, or is that the last gen version?
No. So NBA. So no. So, sorry, I was talking about the first. I was
Dealer
talking about
got hella
Deathloop.
offended.
No, I was
Sorry,
like,
no,
D-Batch, you know that we're trying to play team up now.
2K22. I had to double dip. So, my kid, he wants to play it with his friends on the PlayStation.
You better fix that, D-Batch.
So, I tried. So I tried to get a code, and he wanted like the freaking anniversary edition. I was like, nah, man, I'm not paying that much money for the anniversary edition. So I went to a key site, and I got one for like, I don't know, like $38 and I punch it into my PlayStation and it says, "Oh, congratulations, you have the anniversary edition." I was like, "What?"
Oh, that
So
works.
yeah, so I have that, and I also got it for the Xbox. So don't worry, dealer, I'll be able to play on the
There we
Xbox
go.
Series X too.
There we go.
Trash.
By the way, that game is the single player is like a big open connected city where you're just watching people spawn next to you on skateboards that are riding themselves. You know, like it's just 2Ks. Their servers are fucked. But there's a new dunk meter and stuff too you gotta get used to. But other than that, you know, it's not bad. It's just there's a lot of technical issues, and Mav and them warned me about that. So,
But PC guys are really pissed off, man. They're so mad. They did not do a next generation version for the PC again.
you just can't handle it over there, computer.
So
The
why do they
reason-
consistently
The
every
official
year they
Yeah,
release a
right.
product that is always buggy? It's
Um,
never good.
'Cause it's
Because
too
people
cold.
still buy it.
a nightmare.
I don't want to say their stuff is too overly buggy. The NBA's. They
Oh,
haven't
it's
been-
bad when you can't even. What you guys?
Well, this
were trying
year's
to-
is still a little different because you got this big connected city that you don't have. It is where your single player takes place. Last year's was a story where you made choices and
Yeah.
you dunked on people's
Okay,
family.
but you would be trying to play with Rand or somebody, and you guys would get disconnected after a quarter.
Well, that's because
It's like-
it's worse than that. The boxes would just freeze.
Oh wow.
Come on, but that's the thing. Like
You guys better
these
start voting
games
with your
always
wallet.
release-
Zucker,
Yeah,
you got to
vote
vote
with
for
your
your wallet with that Dead
exactly.
Space remake.
Stop people buying 2K
I will.
games. Stop buying those
Bonds,
freaking
get your
games
hands
if they
out of
don't
my
work.
tiny pockets.
Stop buying those games if they don't work.
are you
That's
doing,
when I
your
will
cult?
tell you,
You
as a
got to
consumer,
stop buying Dinky
that buggy
Winky Island
shit.
DLC, Fonz. You got to
No,
quit
that
it.
worked. At least it worked.
Well, the
You
Foxes
can't even get your
didn't
game
work.
to work.
The Foxes failed to lead me to anything interesting when I followed them.
Your
Hey.
game doesn't
Hey, dealer.
work.
My
2K
game
is
works.
broke.
2K22 works.
Hey dealer.
It's just that, you know, the skateboards don't have anyone on them.
this is what the devs said why they couldn't bring it to PC. They said that the lower end hardware, like the
Oh,
GTX
shit.
970s and stuff, would hold it back, and you wouldn't be able to get a next generation experience on the PC.
Shout out to all my PC Master Zalkers.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
I'm with you, Philly Eagle. EA is trash.
Yeah,
Straight
EA
up,
is trash.
EA is trash.
But, you know.
What about that Madden? Come on, that new Madden is fire. Come on.
Trash.
Is it? Yeah, K-Mega liked it. He was playing the game, and he said he didn't know he was playing real people for like a while. He does it integrate multiplayer and the single player thing or what?
Actually,
I think it's all real people.
I played it. I played the Madden also back in 2015, so it's pretty much the same thing ever since then.
Madden's garbage, man. Madden is freaking garbage, man. If you look up in the banners, they still have like the old banners from the old.
Of course they do.
Trash.
I'm done. If we're talking about Madden, I'm leaving the podcast forever.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's keep talking about Madden forever.
Madden's
I'm out of here.
awesome.
Hey, Invincible, only superhero game that hang on, this stupid thing keeps fucking moving. Hang on. Okay, so we got Gonad. I don't know. There we go. Gonad. I just I was trying not to pronounce Gonad, okay? He said only superhero game he would want is Invincible. It's a Vince Carter game. I'm sorry. It's
Superhero game I'd want is Invincible. The Invincible cartoon, the series. But that would be very
Well, what about
mature.
Static
Holy
Shock?
crap.
Static Shock would be a pretty cool game.
Trash.
Why is it trash? You're trash, Fonz.
I don't even know what Static Shock
Static
is.
Shock.
I don't
It's
even know.
he's got like electric powers. He can fly around and shit.
Oh, that, yeah. I know what you're talking about. No, Invincible is really cool, though.
But anyway, we're going to do some outros. Guys, thanks for watching. And we could go on about this Nvidia thing forever. We're going to wait for more information before we go on and speculate about BioShock 2022. I do know that WB, you fucks, need to fucking update Arkham Knight on the Series X. And the game deserves it. It still looks better than almost any game there is. And it's 6 years old. Like that game on PC with PhysX looks incredible. Without PhysX on Ultra, it looks incredible. Series X could easily run that at 60 frames per second without PhysX, obviously. So update the damn game, give it what it deserves, and re-release it, because we all know that COVID's fucked everybody, and everyone's trying to re-release everything and update everything and add DLC to everything, and this is a perfect opportunity to get Fonz to finally play a decent game. He's good. Okay, I just expected a little more back and forth from him on that one.
No. I'm learning.
All right. Well, again, guys, hit the like button if you haven't. Let's try to get closer to 1,000 for the end of the show. Thank you so much for rocking out with us and letting us do our thing. Again, I'm recording this show as a pilot, kind of trying to do some tests and get it on some different platforms and stuff. So people ask me about that don't actually even watch this damn show, because they still say this. I say this on the shows, and I still get the questions about it, meaning they didn't actually fucking watch the show anyway. You're finally getting the thing on iTunes and Sirius XM or something. I don't know. I'm still working all that out. But seriously, though, you can actually do that. And you can get 6 extra people watching it there.
Yeah,
so
check out MySpace. It'll be there, too.
It'll be on MySpace and Vimeo, bitch.
And his OnlyFans.
And my OnlyFans. And my Discord. But yeah.
I don't think so.
And Fonz's OnlyFans. It's a
I don't think so.
Fucking fuck. All right. Hey, Fonz, tell people where you've been playing, buddy, and where can people find you?
Yeah, I've been playing on the Xbox. I've been
Dark
playing on the Xbox. And beat Psychonauts 2, as I said. I stayed up till like 4 a.m. on Sunday morning just to beat the game. It was so good. I really liked it. That's why I gave a shout out to Double Fine again. Such a small studio that made a fantastic game. It was wonderful. So if you haven't played that, people, play it. You can find me at Fonzarelli Gaming, FONZERRELLI Gaming here on YouTube. And I do my podcast every Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. And it's this week's guest coming up is going to be the sauce man himself, Gaz.
Who?
Gaz from Game On Daily will be on. So
the guy on the Chef Boyardee cans?
Yeah, the guy who's always acting out in skits and stuff on his Game On Daily channel. If you're not subscribe to that stuff. I think he's hilarious, man.
Yeah, Gaz is funny.
We're gonna have a great time, man. Really great time.
Yeah, just make sure he doesn't huff a bunch of pine saw before he comes on, like he does in those sauce videos.
I want him to do that. That's what I want.
Oh, shit.
I want that extreme Gaz. I want the crazy.
I haven't heard from Gaz in a minute, so I'm guessing he found another friend besides me.
Well, he ain't got friends.
Oh,
Trust
shit.
No. Shout out to Gaz. Love him.
Yeah, shout out to Gaz. Shout out to Asa from Game on Daily. Check out their website. Is that shit still linked down below? Somebody check the description and see if Game on Daily is still linked down there.
It is. I have it right here.
If you want to check out
It
Game on
is.
Daily, I mean, I've linked them under every video, and I still haven't heard from Gaz like in forever. So fuck you, Gaz. And also, you know, hey, Zalker, what have you been playing, and what have kind of weird things you've been watching and stuff when no one's around?
I just look through your window and watch you. But no, I've been,
Okay.
It's probably true.
He's in my
weird
DMs
things.
like J-Tick.
Yeah.
The man with the million.
No. I've been playing. You gotta find my. Fuck this. It's disgusting. You can find me on Twitter at Zalker87, YouTube Zalker87. But I played the Artful Escape, so now I'm Jimi Hendrix. I've been playing a lot of Diablo 3, which is actually a lot of fun. Rolling a Necro just for fun. I've been playing the
great
Alien
game.
Fire Team a lot. Having a lot of fun with that. So yeah, thanks for coming, chat. You guys are awesome. You threw me off with that bullshit. And Xbox, get a superhero game, because obviously it took over the podcast and it took over the chat. It means something.
It didn't take over the whole podcast.
You shut your slut
Yeah,
mouth.
a lot of it.
Shit.
It's proof the whole chat was going on with it too. Like they should get one.
Hey, Pons, if you
there
don't
you
have
go.
Ace on your show too at the same time,
Not at the same time.
me and
no.
you're just going to
These
have
are-
happy words.
Okay.
So you can have them on next week.
I already have somebody on next.
All right,
week, but
Ace,
will
I
do
tried. I'm
Ace.
sorry. He just messaged me and
No, I want Ace on as well. Ace is gonna. Yeah, I definitely want Ace. He's got a good perspective. I just don't want Gaz to be there to talk over him. That's
oh shit. All right, well,
Ace
shout out
needs his own
to shout out to Asteroid Gaming. I like your other logo better, sir. Just be honest, right here in the air. I like all your logos though. Okay, Horace, Lethal Papa, moderator. We've also got Others Inc. Shout out to you, brother. Young Ali. We've also got Make Chief or Nico Chief. Sorry, I don't know what the fuck I came up with that from. Floodman. Shout out to you, Brandon Williams, as well as Zion Williamson from the NBA. Shout out to you, buddy. As well as Philly Eagle. All the channel members, all the patrons, all that good stuff. Tim Dog died. I don't know if you guys saw the post on Twitter.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, he's back to life. How you been, Tim? And what have you been playing and where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, xCloud Tim Dog. I've been playing a bunch of stuff, so I'm trying to finish Psychonauts. I'm in the middle of that, but I had a house sit for my friend, so I played. I've been playing Hades, and I have to say it's
Which
really
game?
good on xCloud. Hades,
Oh, okay.
HAD. It's on Game Pass. It's highly rated. Really addictive, fun game. I've been playing it on xCloud. Have to report xCloud is really doing well as far as stability and how it feels and how it plays. 60 frames per second, you really feel it in the game. Enjoying that a lot. Got NBA 2K20, the new NBA game 2K. A bunch of games, just Flight Sim. I'm still playing. I have a ton of games that I'm playing, just kind of going back and forth. But definitely looking to finish Psychonauts. I have enjoyed it. Just that I haven't been home all the time, and I don't like playing it on xCloud because on the OLED, to be honest, it is glorious. So that's that with me. It was a good show tonight. Great chat. Show's doing great. Good to see the engagement. And in these kind of months where there's not a lot going on, I did have a lot of information. But it's gonna start to get fun soon. So just happy to be here.
Stand by.
See you next week. And bye.
Stand by. We're just giving Cole shit that in the party earlier. It's just funny. Did I get everybody?
You need to get D.
D, I thought I already got D, man. He said he was at D batch. You know, I get D batch even when he doesn't get himself on these things. Like he's like, I don't need an outro. I'm like, D batch, do a fucking outro. And he's like, oh no, I'm just too polite. D batch, tell me where they can find you and what have you been playing? Maybe you were the last one to talk before this. That's why I thought I got you.
I've been playing, like I said, Deathloop. I'm excited, man. There's a lot of games coming out, man. Like next week, we're gonna get Kenya. I'm gonna play that on my PC. So yeah, it's just a good time for games right now, man. I've been really kind of taking apart my PlayStation 5. I got some of those D brand, what do you call those? Those covers for the side panels, and I put the black ones on, and I put my SSD. I'm ready for tomorrow's update. I actually did a video on it. I'll probably post it tomorrow so you guys can see how hard or easy it was to do all of that. Yeah, I'm just excited for the games that are coming out, man. Not really playing too much, just the Deathloop. It was a great show. See you guys next week.
Yeah, big shout out. And final, I'll try to remember to do this every week. Final live chat comment before the end of the show, and the final outro, which is mine, of course, is from MC365MC. He says, Tim Dog, you sound drunk. Look, I'm gonna just read the ones that sound funny to me. It doesn't mean it's true. We love Tim. We know he's not drunk. He's been drunk. Anyway, find me at he doesn't like that. I'm sorry, Tim. At dealer_gaming on Twitter. ii_dealer_ii on Xbox Live. And of course, here on YouTube. Check out my last video. A lot of people watched it and didn't watch it. That makes sense. You ever see somebody leave a comment and they didn't watch the shit, and you can tell because they didn't even catch the first 30 seconds where I took 2 hours to make a goddamn stupid skit that they didn't even fucking see. So check out my last video. I definitely didn't say I didn't like the PlayStation event. I mean, I've had guys in this chat. They're like, yeah, finally, honest YouTuber, didn't like it. I was like, I never said that shit. I mean, shout out to you, brother. Thanks for supporting what I do. At least click in the damn video or something. But, you know, check it out before you leave a comment, because I definitely am articulate in my thoughts on these things and put a lot of effort in that stuff. And we're lucky that we get to do what we do. I'm just saying, you know, stuff like that, hear me out, because it ain't. I'm taking the perspective of people that did think the event was trash and using it as an angle, which I make fun of myself for in the damn video.
Articulate my ass.
Yeah, so it's not like a Zalker video where it's oddly specific.
Exactly.
It's just, you know, oddly specific.
Hey, in your defense, dealer, I gotta say,
or Randy videos like a lullaby.
being an Xbox-centric channel, it was a very, very fair review. I gave it a good review because at the end of the day, we're gamers. So we all have a PlayStation 5. So we're looking forward to playing games on it. So if we see something that's good, it makes no sense to cap and say it's trash. Yeah. I thought the show overall was a really good show. Now, was it the Xbox killer show that everybody's saying that it was going to be? No, but it was a good show. Yeah.
And you're right. Yeah, I watched your video, and it was, we usually agree on this stuff, like call spade a spade, as I would say, and you just got to say, like, look, these games look good. I'm not saying Xbox need a fucking superhero game, because they factually do not. They just acquired ZeniMax and most of the biggest IP in the history of gaming. I would say that as a gamer, as I said in the video, I want a piece of that pie, though. So would it be cool if they had a game like that? Yes, it would. So go to Disney and get them to put it in Game Pass. No, you know, that was another joke, right? So it's jokes. It's fun. It's supposed to be entertaining. Like, if you're not doing something different than the guy next to you, what's the point of watching that person's video? I'm being myself, using my own sense of humor, having fun with it. And anybody who actually watched the video, which that's all I can do, I can put it out there, and if you can finish it and then critique me, that's fair. But nobody did that, because they actually watched the fucking video. Those who didn't did. Not that it bothers me, used to it, but it's more annoying putting the work in and the effort, and then guys thinking that I shit on the review, and then even taking my side when I actually didn't fucking even do that. So I gave it a moderate amount of praise for what they did right, but shut down people for saying it was better than the Xbox event. Not even close, in my opinion. So, you know, you might want to go back and try that one again. Dark CMF, he does say shout out to the mods. Troll, yes, he says that the trolls were fired. Yeah, they definitely were hammering some guys. Shout out to Boss Mod Lethal and all the other guys in the chat, Kirby, and I think I saw Obi-Wan for a fraction of a second. He 3D printed himself out of the chat. Yeah, thank you guys for supporting what we do. Seriously, hit the bell icon, check out the sources down below, the Patreon stuff, the Discord stuff. I think I'm going to make like a Patreon Discord thingy and all this different shit I want to try to do here to bring some of the guys that really support what we do the most in the most, right? So that's just the only thing I could think of. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. We are out.
Later, everybody.
Hit the like button.